We are back.
All
We are
right.
back at Skydiver Keep, and we just completed mission number 1. It was very desperate, but we blew
Super
some.
desperate.
Hilariously, that's not the hard one. It's just you started in a desperate position. You had to kind of claw your way out.
Ha ha. Yes, we did claw our way out. That hound.
Very literal. All right. Mission 2. Let's have a talk about it.
Also, curiosity, did we just kill a lieutenant? Or not a lieutenant, infamous?
Absolutely.
Nice.
So the lieutenants are actually scripted into the fights. And if you just to talk a little bit about game design, this is going to be very important for the last role. But before we get it's not a lieutenant. The hound is
Infamous,
Howler,
right?
eater is an infamous. So you killed an infamous, not a lieutenant. But yes. So if you have a spy master, they actually have the ability to like lure lieutenants and stuff out onto the field, and that's something that you can do with like intel questions and stuff like that too. But if you have not encountered a ton of lieutenants or slash infamous during your entire run and or ended them, there are some that are scripted at Skydiver Keep because it's all the stops, right? Like at this point, you folks have your skills, you have your XPs. Like this is for all the cookies. So there will be more than one. As a matter of fact, you're going to see one on this next mission. I guarantee it. So this is going to be a rough mission. Of the remaining missions, Jay, this is one of the ones that I would not be shocked if you spend intel on. So this mission is stopping, you just did stopping the main force. This mission is called Hold the Lower Pass. So you need to send up to 3 specialists and a unit to hold the lower pass. There will be a significant detachment of forward troops that are going to try and push past them and essentially get to Skydiver Keep to sort of wreck your prep and so on and so forth while the main force arrives. And you have to just hold them long enough for that cliff to come crashing down. This is an assault mission, I believe. Let me double check.
This is pre-bomb.
This is happening as that desperate fight is above. As a matter of fact, these folks are probably dispatched at the same time, but climbing up a mountain with like chains and rope is going to take significantly longer. So you folks have to hold a bit longer. And we'll see. So the way that we're going to do this is I am going to set up like a 12 clock of time. And your job is not necessarily to kill everything, but simply to hold out long enough for the walls to come tumbling down. So
we want to fill that clock. That's our goal. Stay
alive
when the clock fills.
1 squad and 3 specialists. You must hold off 3 enemy units and an infamous. Woo! And this counts as an assault mission. So.
And Josh, you said 3 specialists, but it's up to 3, right? Because I think we're going to run out.
3. You do not need to send all 3. That is correct.
Because my concern is if we also have to spend for the next 2 missions, I don't think we'll have enough.
Correct. There is still assemble the siege weapons and hold the second wave before we're done.
Right. And the assemble the siege weapons takes 2 specialists.
Supply. Yeah.
And hold the second wave takes up to 3. So yeah.
Distribute as you see fit. You probably want a minimum of 1 specialist on each mission of the correct type.
Yeah.
But
what are the other 2 mission types? Assemble and is it supply and assault?
Yeah.
Okay. I was just trying to make sure. So we are going to send on Hold the Lower Pass. We're going to send our Ravens.
Yeah.
Need them.
The Ravens are, by the way, the unit that is the capture and hold unit. So this is their jam. This is what they're built for.
We are going to send them with a heavy. Let's send them with Motali. And I need. Hold on, I'm trying to make sure I still have enough people to do so.
Yeah.
Done.
I think Akara has a lot in martial. So she may be useful in terms of like, Marshall's only useful if we decided that's what I want to use, but she may be good at directing folks.
Yeah, let's send Akara and Miltali on this one.
It's a pretty good team, actually.
Yeah.
Solid. So this is an assault mission. Any relevant questions? Did this become a squad of soldiers? I forget.
Did. Yeah.
It did. So it gets +1 from everyone being a soldier or a specialist. So that's rad. So that's a minimum of 2 dice. And I believe Akara has strategist.
She doesn't. No.
Okay, that's fine. That's okay. And then is Blackshot spent? And is anyone wounded?
Nobody's wounded, and Blackshot is being spent.
All right. So that sounds like a 3D engagement roll.
Awesome sauce.
I was doing this on the wrong screen.
Controlled position.
Nice.
I've never seen that. That's the last mission, first control.
I know, right? I think it's the first control.
Wow. So I guess Jay is saving his intel for the very, very last mission where your chosen takes the field. But let's talk about this position. So I think there's a moment where all of you get there before the enemy troops are there. So you have some time. You're not getting there mid-combat. You've got like a couple of hours. And you know that somewhere to your right, heading up into the mountain cliffs, is a squad with like chains and grapnels and all this stuff. But they've got like over 1,000 feet of bad climb and, gravel hike and things like that. So you're looking and you realize there's these like cliff sides and they're not, it looks like a path that's carved, there's like rock and everything. And you're trying to figure out what to do. So like, do folks want to like make a barricade and like let them smash against it? Do you want to like try and be on the cliffside and fire down on them, but then they might be able to run through? Do you want to make a barricade but leave only like 2 people there and then have everybody else flank them when they come in? What's the plan?
I like plans involving barricades. Since we have the time, it seems sensible to me. What's the snow level right here?
There's some snow. It's mostly on flat surfaces and sort of like sides, but there's also plenty of rock. You're not like buried. It's headed towards winter, but winter has not hit. When that last clock tick fills, you're done. The mountain passes are impassable.
But people buried under snow that can pop up and ambush.
Totally a thing. That sounds great.
Like barricades that are maybe false or maybe real, like where it's still going to slow them down for a second. I'm a fan of all those sorts of plans.
So what's the plan? Some shooty action with a couple of fallback positions? Is that the?
I don't think this is the shooty squad. I think this is the stabby squad. I think this is jump out.
It's gonna be so dangerous.
Yeah, I mean that's if we were snipering up this, that would be one thing. But
awesome, no problem.
Yeah. What's Misha? Who's playing who?
Hold on a moment. Flavia. All right, Jen, you want to be Flavia?
Yes.
Oh, Flavia's not going on the last mission alongside Zora. That's shocking, but awesome.
Yeah, I'm surprised about that actually.
Yeah, but the Raven, I mean, unless
but it's a soldier squad.
Yeah.
Well, Jen, you can reject that if you want. Flavia has the metal.
She has the sword.
She can be like, no, I'm going on a different mission. I don't care what the marshal says. And Flavia can reject that, and we could stick a different soldier from, like, we could put I don't know, Marinin Petrovich or somebody else. If Flavia wants to, she could say no.
Yeah, I mean, I think I really want to see Flavia fight alongside Zora.
Okay.
If that's cool with Misha.
Petrovich in for the Ravens.
Cool.
Is there like a tender goodbye? Does Flavia say anything to people, or is she creepy like Zora, where she just looks at her squad and like walks away?
I think it's kind of a mix of those. I think she starts out trying to say a thing, but like twitches in pain at one point. and then kind of straightens up and puts on the stoic face and is just like
Ignites her hair and walks off.
Seriously, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Holy shit.
The only person who is left behind that is still part of the original squad is Grey Wafting Smoke and Aeronov Boraneva, and they still have presumably the flaming
Raven insignia, yeah.
But they're not their hair on fire. Yeah.
All right. Jay, you want to do Miltali?
Yes.
Jen, you want to do Grey Wafting Smoke?
Sure.
I'll take our newly promoted soldier,
Cool.
Aeronov, and
You can just pick Tav Aeronov. Be good at whatever we need about to do.
Gosh, I hope you have grenades.
You can give Aeronov Grenadier, right?
I could.
So it's really interesting that you put Akara on this mission because holy shit, is there going to be corruption? It's going to be great.
It'll be fine.
It'll be great.
Do you want to do a Kara, Sean?
Sure. I'll do it.
Okay. All right, give me 2 seconds to build out Aeronov.
Are we going heavy on this
Or
or normal?
I just feel like while you folks are picking out load real quick, heavy. This is an assault mission, and there's no reason not to.
Yeah.
You face incredible odds. Bring everything.
Yeah.
We need bigger guns.
we all have Black Shot for free.
Oh, I have an advance I can pick.
Oh yeah, I
Thank you.
forgot about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a suggestion.
Yeah, go for it.
You totally should take. It's on page. Hang on, I got you covered.
I have the book in front of me.
It's page 441. You should take Unbreakable.
Unbreakable.
That sounds great.
What is this unbreakable thing, Shosh?
So during the God War, there was a famous Dar warrior who crossed blades with the Chosen and somehow managed to hold his ground. After this monumental feat, many sought his tutelage, but he only selected 5. These 5 were subject to the same grueling regimen that he claimed to have learned in the mountains of Zemia from a strange Chosen that lived in the mountains. Those that subject themselves to this regimen wander with reliquaries at their hip and some very unique abilities. To learn the secrets of fighting opponents of significantly greater strength and speed, you must first undergo grueling, extensive training, culminating in ritually consuming a reliquary over the course of a week. I think we just saw that. You may gain the Adept special ability. It is called Unbreakable, and the way this ability works is you've mastered your body and conditioned it to its physical peak, supplementing it with stolen divine power. When equipped with a reliquary, you may use your special armor to resist any consequence. This is exactly how when like Vitali's like, and I do a death strike at Zora, she's just like, no, and she blocks like entire blades and weapons with just her bare hand. She just stops them like as if her palm is made of steel. This is that trick.
Yes, please.
Nice.
Yeah, that's nice.
Sith is so right. It's like, should we bring heavy? It's like the Gary Oldman, like, bring everything, right? Or everyone in that case, but yeah.
So is let's see. I think Shooty actually makes sense, even though that's not Motali's strength, because I think we're going to so I'd say everybody pack a pistol or a rifle, and everybody gets Black Shot. So that means we can at least weaken their forces before we engage hand to hand. And because they're coming to us, I think we can set up for the ambush as well. So I'm all for. Nisha, what did you end up taking anything like Grenadier or Ambush or anything like that? For...
I took Grenadier, yeah.
Nice. Awesome. Yeah. So let's stay out of the death zone. So yeah, Akara is going to be marshaling everybody. That Shashi asked how we set up marshaling everybody to set up barricades so we can lock them in place and have and be on the side so we can fire down on them.
Awesome. And this is controlled. So Matali not bringing a gun is not a big deal because Matali is here for when you roll 4 to 5s, and then you can't be in ranged attacks anymore.
Well, I mean, my thought is, well, Tally
That's
may
great.
have nothing to shoot, but he could still, I don't know, he could still be aiding us or.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
so Matali has backup, so I can assist someone.
My God.
Yes.
Matali's a machine.
Yes.
Yeah, nice.
Oh my god, so good. All right, so here's the thing. I have to tell you what you're facing, and it's I'm so sorry, but I'm doing this according to the rules, and whoever wrote the rules was a total jerk. I blame John.
Sure.
Sorry, John.
So here's the thing about what you see coming. What you see coming is 3 enemy squads. So there's roughly 36 Rotters, give or take. There is, I mean, this is like a serious contingent, and the thing is that there are 3 horrors here. 2 of them you haven't seen before. One of them has an overlarge arm and a cleaver, and looks kind of like
What's on the arm?
a cleaver. It's holding a cleaver, like a meat cleaver. It's just maybe the size of a car door. Like it's big. It's not enormous, but like it's definitely like measured in multiple feet as opposed to like, a meat cleaver, which is like the size of a couple of different parts. And it's one of its arms basically looks like it was braided from like multiple arms. So like it's carrying this cleaver on its back as it's trudging along, and it's got like one huge arm that's got like a shoulder with like armored shoulder with like spikes and stuff.
That big.
There's a second one, which is crawling up the way, by the way, and it's got a crow that's running behind it, carrying like a set of what looks like spears, and it's got a set of arms on its back. So apparently the crow like feeds javelins into it, and it passes it up and then like hurls them. The last one is the interesting one, however. It is made of 3 combined people, and you recognize all of them. They're the people that died in that last mission. As a matter of fact, it looks fresh, like it was made super recently. As a matter of fact, as it's shambling along, you realize that stitched on its chest is the phrase, "We used to be Legion and we were broken."
Wow.
This thing, and moreover, it's got like pipes and other attachments on it. It looks like it was fresh made, and it looks like the doctor's personal prep project. As a matter of fact, so that just all of you know exactly who it is that sent you this gorgeous present, there is a bloody handprint on the side of its face, just like the doctor has one on its white crow mask. So it's he's sending you his hellos. So yeah, this is what's coming up the pass, right? Like you folks are like, cool, we're gonna take out like a dozen guys and like maybe like one big thing, no problem. But yeah, this is the squad that's shambling up the pass towards this is the advanced unit. So what do you folks want to do? Like you're in a controlled position, you're under some snow on a ledge, they don't see you, they see the barricade, they're prepping for the barricade, you see those like javelins coming up into this thing's hand, it's getting ready to throw some javelins, it totally doesn't see you on this like ledge 20 feet up. What do you folks want to do?
I have 2 ideas. Misha, one of them depends on you, so tell me what you think. One of them is just we open fire, right? Like we've got a good position, all good. The other one is that we flash back to when you were planting explosives right where they are right now, and we push the go button and blow a bunch of people up.
I'm all for that one.
Yep.
I mean, you took
Right
Grenadier.
And then shoot what's left.
I feel like
That sounds great.
I feel like that's the move. Is it planted in the snow where no one can possibly see? They're just walking over it. Are explosives, and we kind of are waiting for them to get engaged, and when they cross the line,
That's the kill zone.
All right, cool. So let me make I'm gonna make 3 clocks for the horrors. Well, actually, I'm gonna make this 12 clock token for your time.
Cool.
And whenever you take actions that will delay them and or buy you a significant amount of time, I'm going to put ticks on this, and we'll talk about how like certain maneuvers and stuff like that will affect this clock rather than the enemies.
Right.
But also, just in case they're going to murder you all, I'm going to make some clocks for the horrors and the one infamous. So good times.
Yep. So many clocks. Josh, just so you know, we can't see the names on those clocks.
There are no names on those clocks because I'm still making them. They did take a few seconds to set up. It's cool though. So you folks. So I guess we're doing a rec roll. Let's see how effective this is. It's controlled, and it's got at the moment standard effect. Unless somebody can pitch me on how to make it more fun.
More fun.
I'll give you a standard effect. I'll actually give you potency because I feel like explosives have scale and you have time to like set it up. So maybe give it a roll and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say explosives are normally threat 3, but that doesn't affect. I mean, that's when we get into it's like the post effect roll.
Do we have any like shrapnel to bury in the snow with the bombs?
What Akara could make it so that we did. That's certainly a possibility.
All the equipment that we were gonna ditch. Maybe instead of ditching it, we used it as shrapnel.
I want to say that in a bit of like just perverse, in a bit of perverse. Oh no! I totally know what this is. Never mind. I've totally got this. At some point, the quartermaster walks up and he's got like 2 of his laborers, and like they're about to go send them in to like get the furnaces running and everything like that. And they've just got these big canvas bags, and there's like pointy things sticking out of them, so they're like holding them really gingerly. And they hand one to Multali, and they hand another one. To Gray. And they're like, and the quartermaster's like, the aftermath of Zora's training. And it's just a bunch of broken swords. It's just all these things Zora has like broken and shattered.
Sword bits.
Sword bits, exactly. It's all these broken, shattered weapons. And it's like you need to go, he doesn't know whether you can use this caltrops or shrapnel, doesn't care. So I'm going to use channels to bring in
Pointy bits.
Extra pointy bits to make this extra.
You basically need poor quality. So no matter what you get, it's gonna be good.
Right.
I don't think we need to roll, Sean. I think you just get it because what you're asking for is shrapnel.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think you could roll no shrapnel. Like I don't know. It's just, can I please have spiky garbage? Here you go.
Yes. Well, what I'd like to argue for is not only taking potency, but using this for logistical support because it can be used.
Yeah. Go ahead and give it a.
Yeah.
Give it a roll. Let's see.
So yeah. So I'm just going to use it as the assist. So I'm not going to make the roll, but when Misha, you make the rec roll, you're going to get plus 2d from all that shrapnel.
All right.
And I will mark one of my channels used. It also means that because you're getting assisted by me, if you want to push yourself, it only costs you 1 stress.
I mean, you should.
Yeah. Why wouldn't I do this?
Well, you can push for effect. Yeah.
Pushing for effect may not be bad. There's a lot of horrors out there.
Yeah.
All right. So this is controlled.
Mm-hmm.
And if I push for effect, that makes it great.
Great. Yep.
Yeah.
And I get an extra 2d.
2d at the moment. If you push yourself, oh, that's right. Yeah, 2d. Because you're pushing for effect.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
Oh, that's a crit. Very cool.
They blow up real good.
Jeez, yes, they do. You folks are rolling like champions today.
We sure are. I don't even know where these rolls are coming from, but I'm not complaining. I'm quite very happy.
So you remember when you prayed for boxcars? Is it
right? Not yes.
All right, so I think that this is where we start, which is very good. Your controlled position pays off. Your prep pays off. You're out there early. You took exactly what you needed. The Ravens get their detonations in place. There is explosions. Then there's secondary explosions. The reason there's a crit is what you didn't realize is that in that like 36 unit is also about half a dozen exploders, like their gut sacks in there. And they go off when the bombs go off, right? Like there's like one second where like one of the like you see like a section of the mountainside like echo and start like coming down, and like one of the horrors like braces and like goes to like catch it, and then the secondary like shrapnel like takes out one of the guys and like shoves it out of the way, and it all just comes like crashing down. So like I will say that you deal a significant blow to their troops. Most of the horrors have like pieces that are missing and shrapnel inside them. I would say that of those 36, there's maybe barely 12 remaining. There's like a second where everyone's like, oh yeah, now we're on cleanup duty. And you look down and you realize that thing with the stitching in its chest, it just looks at all of you like, you played your hand, now I'm playing mine. And it does this thing where like you see the pipes on it spin up and everything else, and then green gas starts coming out and covering the entire valley, and it just looks at all of you like, yep, we're gonna keep moving on. Now you can't see us. What are you gonna do about it?
I think Akara, I mean, I don't know how quickly the green gas spreads, but I think before it occludes our vision, Akara is going to yell, everybody, that's our target, take it out. And she's going to start snapping, and it's going to be one of those things where she goes to snap and it like doesn't work, and she's like, because like
yeah,
you hear a grunt, and I say, tell me if we can do this, Josh, and I'm happy to resist if I need to make it possible. I want to get in before
volley before.
Yeah, exactly. We're set up here to shoot. Do it.
Let's do it.
What's our position for shooting these things?
Controlled.
Feels right. We're up above.
Yeah, you're up above. You're firing down into the barrel. They're going to have full cover after this, like moving forward. So
that's okay.
Actually, I'm going to change that. I'm going to say it's risky. Because I think Akara snaps, I think the guns come out, and I think the thing just looks at you, and like one of those heads opens its mouth and it starts screaming. Then the second one does, and the thing with the multiple arms like raises itself out of the snow and just starts like, you see like it does this, and you see like the first spear like hit its arm.
Right.
So it can counterfire, is all I'm saying. It's about to launch giant metal.
Actually, so of these things, the walker is the one emitting the gas, and
Whaler.
The Whaler. That's what
it is. It is an infamous. I just generated it out of your troops, but it is technically an infamous that Blighter has. Yes.
And Spiky is the one that is throwing the spear.
Yes.
Yeah. So Spiky is actually like it. Everyone thought Whaler was the target, but the final snap finally goes off because damn metal hand is snapped, and we realize that Spiky is the target, and we are eliminating the thing that can threaten us. I mean, obviously it's still risky, but I want to take out the thing that can fire.
Let's
back.
do it. Are you all spending a black shot?
Yeah.
Okay, so then it's risky. Great.
Awesome.
Because everyone gets potency right from the black shot.
Yeah.
Now, it's really interesting because usually we would have some discussion. We're like, oh, but horrors are frequently, they have scale. And it's like, yes, but you have a whole unit, so that's scale.
Yeah.
So you're fine.
Cool. Yeah. We've shortened that. So, so I need Akara's going to lead it. And I definitely need at least whoever's Jen, I need you to roll for the squad.
Sure.
I get a bonus die if in group actions.
Yeah,
You want Jen rolling for the squad?
Well, you're not part of the squad. You're a specialist, right?
Oh yeah. Well, no, I'm a soldier.
I want you rolling for the squad, Misha. Sorry, I thought you were a specialist.
Right, so that's 5.
All right.
Not bad. Not bad.
Let me do mine. And I don't think Multali is involved. I'm gonna push. This is great.
Is Multali here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we're bringing out our big. All right. It's all
That's
sorts
no
of stress.
That's okay.
So mixed results. What's that look like?
This is where Matali might come into play. I'm expecting some interceptions. So I think that you're going to do the damage and Spiky is going to die. Is that cool?
I like
That's
that.
cool.
Sure.
However, you're firing. Is that correct, officer?
Akara is firing. Yep.
You're going to take level 2 harm and level 2 corruption, and you're going to lose 2 of your squad members that are just going to get like this giant eye beam of a black spear comes right through them, and they're going to get pinned to a wall and die horribly.
Woo! Now, can I spin anchor to save those folks?
Do you have bulwark?
Yeah, I do.
Yes, you do. Done. So what does
Yeah.
that look like, Matali? Right? Like, because like you don't just do it. Like, actually, I'm lying. You do just do it. But like, what does that look like? Right? Like everybody sees this thing wind up, and we see like the fire hitting it, and it's just like ah, and it like throws the spear, and everybody sees like these 2 people about to die, and then what happens?
Matali gets in the way with his big giant tower shield, right? So I think he deflects it, or at least redirects it.
Awesome. So the way this works is because you're solo defending, you're going to take level 3 harm is how it starts. And this is when you tell me all the stuff that you use through. Oh, no, wait, bulwark. Never mind. I lied. You weren't even in the conflict. You just do it. So yeah, Akara, actually, you don't take the, you don't take the, no, one bulwark protects the whole squad. It doesn't grab Akara, but yeah. So yeah, Matali, you take it in the shield, and there's like this horrific screech as like, you know, green sparks and stuff come off, and it gets deflected and like shoved a good 2 feet into the mountainside.
Nice.
Yeah, actually, you know what? No, forget it. Akara, you don't take the damage either. I think Matali just protects all of you. That makes sense narratively, right?
Yeah, I think so. I'm happy to take it because I can describe how my armor is hella cool. But like,
yeah, do it then.
I can describe how my armor is hella cool next encounter. So
that sounds fair. That's actually that's fictionally makes more sense.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So the guns go off, the cloak of mist goes up, and then you folks have no idea what's going on down there. So what's the plan?
right. The plan is that we all got deep from our alchemists, so we don't need to breathe. And this is not the first time Akara has said this, is that she says, and I think if last time we talked about this, Josh, she said like it's actually like built into our armor or whatnot. So I think if it's okay, because we did this whole alchemical project, like it like closes off vents, so like air doesn't even get in. Like the idea, like some ore, this is all built by our ore clockwork things and our alchemists, that like all of our helmets and whatnot, like we pull down something and it's like there's no more breathing vent. We still have like a visor through, and now and we sort of inhale this deep, and all of us can go without breathing and are, you know, to some degree protected from toxins and whatnot getting inside, because we knew we were going against the blighter. So that's what this was for.
This sounds absolutely rad. You should totally do that.
I'm calling on that, and I say we charge down the hill because we still can't see through it. We can run into it, but we can't see through it. So we
awesome. So there's this horrible fog of war, and I need to sort of establish your position, how organized people are when they're mostly blind. So let's have this conversation. The way that that's usually done is we're going to roll Akara's marshal to do as kind of like a micro engagement roll, where we see what position you're in when you're actually in the fog and attacking. So would you do that for me, Sean? It's
Absolutely.
just a fortune roll. There's nothing that goes on with it. Just I
It's a
kind of want to know what to describe, right? Like, are you folks stumbling through this pea green soup and then all of a sudden horror, or are you like an organized squad in the fog firing as soon as anything like shambles into sight, or you know, how's that looking?
So Akara will turn to Multali and say, like, and as part of this process, and says, like, I trust you to hold the troops and to guide them as we talked about. I know you've Akara has this tendency to just assume people have the ability to do things, or that they'll learn them on the fly. So I would like Multali to give me an assist on this marshal, because I'm basically going to send you in and not me. Like, I'm not Zayanova, or I'm running into the fray. I'm expecting you to carry forth the orders. So are you cool with that?
I am cool with that.
Excellent. Then I'm going to spend 1 stress to push myself for this.
And I will spend the stress to assist.
Nice. And that's gonna give me Fortune Marshall. I'll be at 4 dice. Oof. Okay. Well.
It means that you're in a risky position.
Yeah.
That's perfectly plausible, right? So I think that there is this this moment where wow, no, that would be desperate. I'm not gonna be that mean. Yeah, I think there's probably like a moment where you're like, you're moving through the fog, and then there's just like, there's like a call out, something like 3, and like actually there's probably not a lot of sound, right? Because your things are fully sealed, so hearing is muffled and things aren't working 100% right. But like, we see like Matali's like big bulk shift to like an angle, and like everyone immediately levels their rifles, and you see like a couple of like rotters coming out of the like fog, and there's like the sound of gunfire, and they just get shredded, right? Like it's fine. And then there's like a second figure, and you see a couple more rotters coming, and as you rotate, that's when like the clouds like sort of coming off of it, like some sort of like comic book, like you see them like streaming off of it, like Chopper comes in and is just like bringing that cleaver straight through the middle of the troop. What do you folks do? This feels like a risky skirmish, right? Like it's a horror versus you folks. But I think he's got you a little outclassed, right? Like he's got you like a little pinned, like he's got rotters from one side where you're expecting to be fighting, and then he's coming in like, ha ha, surprise. Are you splitting up? Does Matali like rotate to like fight the horror? Like what's the plan here?
Jay, I think it's all your call with Matali. Unless, well, actually, that might not be true. The squad, the squad may very well be fighting off the rotters when Matali fights the horror.
That's
Right.
fine.
Yeah.
But then Matali's not going to have scale support. Just be aware.
Yeah.
You might have to. How many anchor you got, Matali?
I've got one more left, but I got some other tricks up my sleeve.
Of course you do. Of course you do. Awesome. So do we want to make 2 rolls? Like just one roll to murder some rotters and then one roll to take the big guy out?
Yes.
All right, let's do it. So let's see Matali be awesome. We saw the squad detonate walls and bring everyone down to their knees. So like let's see Matali be awesome.
All right. I will remind you, Matali is a war machine and
that's right.
weapon master.
So what is it that you cross as a weapon with this thing? Is it your traditional Warhammer? Is it the sword you got way back when? What's the weapon of your choice today?
Yeah, no, I think it's I think I started with the Warhammer. I'm going to end with the Warhammer.
Nice. Cool. So the cleaver comes down, the Warhammer intercepts. Let's I assume you're pushing because that's how you get all that stuff.
Yes.
Now, are you using War Machine? I assume you're using War Machine to like reduce its threat.
Yes, because I will gain potency.
Yep.
You're getting potency because of weapon master.
Yeah. So your potency offsets its scale, and your threat is now higher than its. You are scarier than a horror. Good job.
And
go
then
ahead.
War Machine reduces the threat level.
Yep.
Yeah.
So go ahead. Just roll your skirmish, I'm guessing.
Yeah, skirmish.
And +1d from the push.
Right.
Yeah.
Or did you want to use the push for? No. Yes, you already
No.
have a level of effect, so it's risky. Great.
Yeah.
All right. Risky. Great.
Oh no.
No.
Okay,
Oh,
I'm
no.
gonna say no to this because Grey Wafting Smoke wants to go toe to toe with this horror because I have this fancy new unbreakable power, and I want to see this thing
Oh wait,
come out.
this is Grey Wafting Smoke. I thought Flavia picked up the unbreakable file. Or I'm sorry. Yeah, it is Flavia, right?
No, she's playing Gray.
No, Flavia's
okay.
going with Zora.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know that Grey can.
Okay,
Grey has been training with Zora. I thought that you were still playing Flavia. I'm sorry, my brain.
no worries.
My brain hiccuped when you were like, "Oh, I have a free advance." I'm like, I know what Flavia should take.
Yeah, no, Flavia didn't have enough for advance, but she did have enough for weave.
Yeah.
Yeah. On the other hand, if you want Grey to be tougher and or better,
You can
there are
spend.
plenty of things.
Yeah.
Go ahead, John.
I was gonna say you could spend that advance on War Machine or on Weapon Master as well to get in on this.
Both would give you good footing because this thing is effectively threat 1 right now.
That's cool. I don't know what to do then, so Jay, go ahead. That's fine. I will figure something out.
It's totally okay if you want to resist for Jade. That could be super cool. Like Gray coming out of the mist, a fresh new Weapon Master could be rad.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, so let me describe what goes wrong, and then you can tell me how you saved the day. So Jay, I think that you're ready, right? Like you're like, I got this. And there's a moment where the cleaver comes in, right? And you parry the cleaver perfectly, right? You like rotate to put your shield into it, and then the plan is you're gonna finish the rotation and smack it with your hammer, like, and then just pound it into red paste. And when you parry the cleaver, right, like it bites into your mace a little bit strong, so like it's actually like in there a bit, and it's fine. You're like, it's okay. I can just yank it out. I'll just hit it in the head, and then you realize that the braiding on its arm is a completely different thing. As a matter of fact, it like rotates its wrist 360 and pins the mace to the ground, and then half of its arm detaches and like reaches for you. And you're just like, well, that's not supposed to happen. It's about to be all bad news bears as it like just beats you into the ground like Hulk did to Loki when Gray Wafting Smoke does something absolutely awesome, which looks like what?
Which am I doing, Weapon Master or War Machine?
It's up to you. Both are awesome. War Machine is epic because you can counter, but right now what you're doing is you are going to save Jay by taking the harm instead of him. So you're going to take level 2 harm. You can armor it. You can resist it down to nothing. You can do whatever you want. That's how you save like Matali for the second. Like everybody else is focused on firing the other direction. You spot this going south. So what do you do?
Okay. I have heavy armor.
Awesome.
So yeah,
I'm just spend both your armor.
I'm just gonna spend both my armor.
Done. You take no damage. What does that look like? Like, how do you stop this? Do you like jump in the way? Do you use a shield? Do you like spear this thing into the ground and just take hits? Like, what does that look like?
Yeah, I mean, I think like I come out of like the green smog or whatever, and I just get in the way. It's not even like fancy work with the shield because I still have a shield. But I think it just hits me in the armor.
Awesome. Yeah, so you're taking this hits like over and over, and Vitali, you can hear the like pounding. You're seeing like the armor denting, like there are actual like tiny fist imprints in it. But now there are 2 of you. All right. Did the 2 of you want to do like a group skirmish and rip this thing apart into oblivion?
Yeah,
I think that sounds good. Yes.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. So traditionally, I would say this is now a desperate position, but you have 2 people that are Weapon Masters / you should probably take War Machine to be real with you.
Okay.
Yeah. So like, if both of you are War Machines and both of you push, this thing is like, one of you can be like, okay, your threat is reduced by 1 because that's the maximum you can reduce it by. The other one can be like, yes, and I use a feat of superhuman strength to like wreck it. So do you folks want to do like a group skirmish, and who's leading?
I can lead. I'd have plenty of stress to soak it.
I
don't have great skirmish, but I'm relying on Matali.
Matali can totally do this. All right, awesome.
I am going to push myself though.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Risky standard.
Team here. Yeah.
Is it okay if I add like
risky great?
Is it okay if I add some things to your new heavy armor, Gray Wafting Smoke?
Yeah.
So when it was being requisitioned, several of the ore, I'm using my logistical support again. Several of the ore engineers, I had them like add on a few things to the pauldrons to our heavy armor. And as you go to strike, like these 2, these 2 spikes come out. These 2 like little sort of spikes come out and on chains to like grapnel into the thing, and they're all tipped with black shot. So like, and like we see like 2 and then 2 more, and like 4 black shot things and like.
Did you just seriously add point defense weapons to heavy armor? Okay. Just checking. What the hell? All right.
and it gets all tangled up, and like you can pull, you can like use your shoulders to like angle it, and the black shot is like burning away at its skin. So take plus 2d on your roll, Jen, and also if you push, it only costs you 1 stress instead of
Okay. I did push, so thank you.
Yeah,
All
no
right.
problem.
Let's roll a
I'm-
lot of dice. Let's see it.
I got all 5s.
All
That's
right.
okay. That means it's no stress, and you might eat some damage, but it's fine.
What's
What's Vitali doing here?
All right, so this is Risky Great.
Risky great.
Yeah.
All right.
I got that Canadian crit.
I'm so sorry to all our Canadian viewers. All right. So I think you do it, and it gets wrecked, but it gives you like an epic fight, right? Like it's got this arm that's
Right.
split in half. It's got like all the strength, and you're using your crazy little grapnel chains to try and like pull it aside, but it's like whirling around and trying to throw you into the mountain, and there's all sorts of nonsense. So both of you are going to take level 2 harm. I think Jen, I'm going to say that Grey Wafting is going to take level 2 corruption, and I'm going to tell you why. It's because all of this fighting and all of this chopping and no armor means that some of that smoke is getting into your lungs. So that's where
So I'm thinking about resisting this because I pushed myself.
Yep.
So I get +1. I have eat iron shit nails. So
Nice.
this feels
All of them.
appropriate.
Yep.
Okay, so this is a resolve roll.
It is for resisting the corruption, but you do have 2 levels of harm coming in first. If
Okay,
you obviously have a shield, so that can reduce it by 1, and you can
Yep.
prowess resist it down further if you like.
yeah, I'm gonna use the shield. And then I
Matali,
will-
same consequence, no corruption. But go on.
Do I get the bonus die on the
Yeah,
harm? Okay,
literally every consequence of that roll.
all right, I got a 5.
So that's 1 stress.
So it's 1 stress. And then I will do a resolve roll with 1 bonus die for the corruption. Yes,
Yes.
that cost me
Awesome.
1 stress.
So you only take 1 corruption.
corruption? And are you using your shield to block the other bit of the harm?
Yes.
Yeah, I did that.
Yeah, I believe she already said that. So
Okay,
yeah.
cool. Missed
So no harm, 1 corruption. Good job, Jay. 2 harm coming at you. What do you do?
Matali is tenacious, so it's actually 1 harm.
Well, actually, no. It you take level 2 harm, but it only acts like a level 1 harm penalty.
Gotcha.
But you have all your armor in
I
your
was gonna
shield.
say you
Yep.
haven't burned any of
gonna-
your armor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what you can do is you can burn 1 armor to reduce it to level 1 harm, and then it acts like level 0 penalty.
Yeah, and you can
What
just
I will
ignore it.
do. Yes.
All right. So Batali can take like battered and bruised, and he doesn't feel it because he's tenacious.
Nice.
It's like free damage levels you got there.
That's right.
Awesome. Misha and Sean, do we want to see how you folks deal with the remaining routers here?
Yeah, I think Nisha, what do you have in mind for the squad?
I think the squad is just wading through them and just taking them out. So just
Is it hand to hand? Is it firing shots?
yeah, we should probably use that black shot we've got, eh?
Yeah.
Taking shots.
Yeah, cool. How about you lead it? Akara is staying out of the smoke. She's trying. Oh, question, Josh. As I step into it, can Akara, who can see in the dark, see through the smoke? I'm imagining no, but I just
No, because this is an actual haze.
yeah, that makes sense. So I think she's staying out of it so that she can try and orient people from outside. So she's gonna she'll join in, but Misha, are you cool leading it?
Yep.
Cool. Yeah, so we like to shoot these things as they come out of the haze.
Do it to it.
What's
Right,
our position effect?
You can do like risky great or controlled
Cool.
standard.
What do you think, Misha? You wanna
That's a risky great.
cool?
Group action. Six.
Nice.
Let's see if Akara can avoid stressing you out. Yes. Yay. No stress.
All right, cool. So I think that's just that.
Yeah, I think this is just everybody's firing their black shot, and we're just peppering them as they come through.
I think kind of dig this. You folks hear up ahead the sound of your barricade getting smashed. What would you like to do? I think I'm not even going to worry about the time clock because you folks have wrecked pretty much all of their units except for
Right. So do we see like? I guess we don't see anything, right?
Yeah, we just hear it.
Yeah. I think what we know what's left is the whaler, and what we have to do is run into that green smoke and destroy it.
Well, if we know that it's hitting the barricades, that should give us a better idea of where it is.
Yeah.
So that should make it easier for us to find it. So yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. So this is where I get to say a terrible thing. I think you folks totally go towards the barricades and you see some damage on the barricade, obviously, and you folks are like, oh, great. Or like, oh no, it's gotten past the barricade, right? Like, and as you make a dash for it, that's when you trigger its trap card. There's this like moment where
he has a trap card.
Yeah, you see it's an internet meme. I'm sorry, but it made a trap. It literally smashed the wall, expecting everyone to be like, "Oh, it's at the wall!" And then as you folks rush there, it actually leaps from above and pounces the whole unit.
Nice.
So, I'm gonna say a horrible thing, and then someone can resist, which is I think Whaler is described as having up to 9 heads that all scream in unison as it fights, and it has horrific spikes coming out of it where when it kills people, it puts them on the spikes to take them back for repairs when it's done. So yeah, this thing is a monster. It's literally gonna just like land and then like extend its like 6 arms and start like grabbing people and trying to pull them to itself and like shove them on spikes. So like it's horrific and a bunch of people are gonna die. What would you folks like to do?
Can we make that not happen?
Yeah, like a resolve resist to get everyone into position so that it, like when the attack happens, they're out of reach. A prowess resist to just like stop it dead in its tracks. Metallic could be an epic hero and tell us how he saves everyone with a bulwark, like whatever you want.
Yeah, I think I will spin my anchor and save everybody.
Awesome. Just tell me how that happens, because this thing it's basically like a nightmare, right? Like it seems to be seeing through that fog somehow.
Right.
Like at least in the distance that it's fighting. Like you don't think that it can see for like miles or something, but like within its arms, right? So you folks like see the impact as like it like pushes a little bit of the gas, and like anybody who's in the way, it's like reaching, like grabbing their head and just like shoving it on a spike. So like what does Matali do to like stop it and distract it and like freeze it in place so that it can't do all of this?
Can I catch it as it's with my? So maybe I toss my shield where it's going to land. So it's got to get its feet set.
Oh, awesome! So like it starts slipping, and then what? Do you just like roar and like charge it and try and like grapple it?
While everybody's backing off.
Hell yeah!
Yes.
Yeah.
So like it does one of those like classic fight scenes. Sorry, I've been watching Blue Assassins. Like where it's like swinging, and instead of like blocking the swing, you like punch it in the like the bicep to interrupt the like incoming like pressure. Like you hit it on the like underside pressure points to like keep it from like getting a proper grip or something.
Right, rabbit punches.
Yeah, rabbit punches. That's what they're called, right? Awesome. Cool. Yeah. So Metallic, do you roar any orders? Do you make any noise at all, or are you just like this giant armor-clad avatar of like protection?
Yeah, no, I think I'm the avatar of protection. I think everyone else knows what they're supposed to be doing right now.
Awesome. So what is everyone else supposed to be doing right now, folks?
Shooting everything.
That sounds okay.
Yeah.
Do we want to do like a desperate group shoot here?
Sure.
Yeah, awesome.
Hey, wait, desperate. You said that you were.
No, by everything, the only thing that's really left is the whaler. Or are we talking about additional troops? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
but what I mean is, it's got like many limbs and lots of parts. So like,
right.
Yeah. Matalia is keeping it busy. You folks are Matalia. I will point out that you do have you have backup, so you can spend a stress to give somebody a die, and then they can push for less. That's a cool thing. I believe that you have a compatriot who has War Machine, and pushing for cheap is awesome.
Yes.
Yep.
I can do that.
Awesome. So mark a stress.
Done.
Jen, you get an assist die, and you can push for 1.
What thing are we rolling? Skirmish? Shoot?
That's a good question. Team?
Yeah. Are we close enough that
Yep.
I think we're close enough that we can be doing skirmish?
Yep.
And still shooting. Like some of us can be using
Yes.
black shot, some of us can be using spears. We're all charging this thing.
For those of you at home, shoot is precision and or distance. If you're fighting with pistols in close combat, skirmish is fine. It's not just shoot because it's a pistol.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Risky standard?
I think it's actually probably risky great, because I think your numbers offset at scale. You have potency. You and Natalia have War Machine, and if you push, your War Machine will activate, so it will become threat 2, which your whole squad is. So I think it's actually risky great.
Okay, Sean, you said you're assisting me?
I think Talia's assisting you.
I did.
It's Talia. Okay. Risky great.
And
then I'm pushing myself, and I'm getting an assistance.
And Misha, are you going to roll do you want to roll for the squad?
Yep, I can do that.
Okay. I'm going to assist the squad then. Akara is in the back. Josh, is it okay if I say that like a good portion of the barricade is still there? Like there's like that total?
Yeah.
Okay.
It mostly just like walked up to it and like punched it a couple of times, and then when you first started coming, it was like,
good, I got
climb
them.
up the mountain. It's time for the trap.
Nice. So Akara makes the snaps, and these are the directional snaps. I don't know. We don't know how our snaps are always intelligible, if you will, but they are. And it's just get its back to the barricade. And then we see her talking to the quartermaster again, being like, nope, I need a few of those small javelins for this barricade, and I'm gonna use my last channels, and like 3 javelins come flying out, like 3 basically like not ballista, but like mini like crossbows with giant javelins on them come flying out, plugging into this thing. So Misha, you're gonna get +2 dice. And if you want to push, it only costs you 1 stress as well.
Who's leading this?
It's gonna have to be you.
Yeah.
I think.
Me?
Yeah.
I only have 2 stress.
It's okay. People will roll well.
Okay.
I mean, you can only take 2 more stress, so that's the worst outcome.
Yeah. Worst outcome is you're fine.
Okay, let's do it.
All right.
I got a 6.
Yeah, see? No stress there. You're fine.
I got a crit.
Oh my
Well,
god.
all right then. I guess we're just done. Mission over. I think
Misha,
you're
you
supposed
got
to
a
get home
double
before
crit.
the mountain falls down.
Oh my god.
Awesome. Yeah, no, that's epic. Who wants to get the? Well, actually, I know exactly who does. Misha, what's the killing blow look like here with that crit?
I think Iranova just steps up with the she's got like black shot loaded into a pistol, and she
Is
just
it like
manages.
2?
No, I think it's just 1. She just like
Okay.
stands there like this for a second, and then boom, and you see the thing's head explode, or like the main head explode.
Yeah, this is the
Conscious, not like all 9. I don't know.
Do you have any snappy one-liner, or you just walk away and not look back like a cool
Nah,
kid?
it's the cool explosion going off behind you,
Awesome.
and you walk away without nothing happening.
That's 4 6s, Misha.
That's a whole lot of
That's a
sense.
double crit.
I don't even know what to do with that.
2 crits.
Nice.
There's a thing that Kara wants to do.
You could do it.
Is that okay? I go up to that, like, whatever. What was it like written on fabric on its chest?
It was stitched in.
It was stitched in.
Yeah, it's big like Frankenstein stitches.
Yeah.
Like medical grade suture kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Although
So
it's rope, probably.
Kara pulls out a knife out of her soldier's kit.
Yeah.
And sticks it in like the edge of the stitching and just like slides it through, basically to like cut all the stitching in half. Basically, like no, like we were Legion. No, whatever monstrosity you are, you're not Legion. Ikaruga feels very embraced by the Legion, so yeah.
There you go.
Not saying anything for that.
You're actually probably more embraced than you've ever been outside of Dar.
Yeah.
Just everyone always has these like superstitions about people from Dar. It's not true, but well, maybe it's not true. No, it's not true. But yeah, the Legion's pretty welcoming. So yeah, awesome. End of mission.
Nice.
We're good. On to the next one. I believe we're going to roll to see how your pipe repairs and such are happening.
Let's do it. All right. This is...
So let's just say that there is a moment where you remember you like started up the boilers, you got the water going through, you like got like a bunch of the stuff repaired, and you can actually see some of the snow on the parapets like melting off so that you people can actually climb up and out. And all of that would be great, except for the fact that like somebody starts shouting and everyone starts running down, and like one section of the piping has like burst and like water is spraying out into the hallways. It's boiling water. You've got your scout, you've got your squad, you got your laborers. What's the plan here?
Nice. Yeah, I think Lenka, if it's okay for me to roll the CO, I think Lenka is going to not
yes,
Lenka.
It is. That's why you're given the squad. But go on.
Yeah. Sorry. Lucretia Lucretia sort of sees this, and she's a noble used to having a staff and working people, but I think in this case she gets in there herself, and we see like her arm get burnt by some of the boiling water, and she kind of flinches, and then they get gloves and they have tools and they're like propping it up, and everyone's trying to divert it, and she's going to work with a bunch of laborers to get it in place. And there's going to be some people getting burned. It's going to be ugly, but we got to patch this. And before it.
Well, I don't know. Maybe she like rips off her fancy silken dress and it contains the explosion of water. It depends on what you roll. Unless you want to say that people are injured just for.
Well, I mean, I think at least cinematic.
A couple.
Some people are getting burned.
Okay,
yeah.
Let's see it. Let's see it. Let's see
I'm gonna roll rig.
Yep, it's rig plus your laborers.
Fixing those pipes.
Hey.
Okay. I don't know what's happening today. I don't know who.
We'll take it. We don't have to know. We'll just take it.
Zora nods quietly.
Nice.
Yeah, I think everyone's in there, and it's just this this just titanic effort to get the pipe fixed, and then like somebody's there like welding it with I don't know our welding technology, like what that technology looks like for the Legion, but like there's like alchemical
like strips of thermite, probably.
Yeah, exactly. That's something like strips of thermite that go on, and they're burning, and people are holding it, and they're it smells horrible, and they're coughing. But when we get through it, we see the pipe. It's like it sagged a little where it broke, but it's holding, and there's just like somebody assigned just to watch it, make sure that if it starts to rumble again, that they're there to patch it first.
Nice.
Awesome.
Water is flowing.
Water is flowing. Cool. And that's going to complete the clock. So I think we'll just do some cinematic reinforcement of the gates and stuff next time. But I think you're good on that account.
Yeah.
Cool. So the next mission is a supply mission. It is. I have fortunately memorized my. Apparently I did not memorize well enough. Okay, I'm good. Hold floor pass.
Is this assemble the siege weapons?
Assemble the siege weapons, yes. There are a few underground routes to siege weapon positions on the cliffs above. Nobody knows if the undead have sent more nimble units to reach them overland, or what might be nesting amidst the tunnels. Assign 1 squad and 2 specialists to the supply mission. Take +1d to the engagement if the Legion has siege weapons. Otherwise, you must repair the old unused ones on the cliffs.
Okay, so we do have siege weapons.
Yep.
I am going to send Ria and Zayanova
Aw.
Oh, the dream team. This is gonna
Well,
end
it's in 2. I
well.
need to save 1 for that last mission. And I'd rather have the heavy on the last mission, I think. So,
That's legit.
so they are going to go with the Vipers.
Cool.
Yeah. All right. So, all right. So everybody is sworn. I don't think we have any intel left.
We do.
We
I
do.
do have one.
Oh!
But you don't want to spend it on this mission.
Yeah, I don't
Nope.
think so. We're not all mission specialists or soldiers. Nobody distrusts or fears. We have the required specialists. This is a supply mission. Quartermaster, did you spend food to equip the mission?
Yeah, I will. I got it.
And is the current pressure higher than 2?
No.
All right. So that gives us 2 die.
We get +1 more for the siege weapons and +1 more because Zainova is a strategist.
Awesome. I'll take it. This is.
Folks have never rolled this many sixes.
I know.
Ever.
Oh my
Like, all
lord.
crits all the time.
What even happens? What even is that?
I think we just cinematically complete the obstacle. So let's have a little conversation about how cool this is. So I'll tell you what the obstacle was. The obstacle was that in the tunnels leading to the exit, Blighter did a trick, which is that she snuck a couple of troops up over the cliffs, just a couple. So you folks have this like cool ambush where there's a couple of crows that are waiting at the exit, and then as you're dragging these siege weapons and moving slowly, there are gut sacks frozen into the walls amongst the snow, and they were supposed to stand up and blow up and kill everybody under your siege weapon. But that clearly is not going to happen because somebody crit the shit out of this roll. So so a crit usually means that you overcome the first obstacle, but since this is a one obstacle mission, you're just going to narrate. What does this look like? Like this is a movie clip where you're all going up, and then all of a sudden, like these things in the wall start like twitching and getting up and getting ready to go out. And then what does it look like? Like how do you folks save the day here?
Can I just chuck a bunch of chem bomb at?
Oh, and then they don't blow up.
And then they don't blow up.
Awesome. So like Rhea turns into a whirlwind of vial throwing machine.
Yeah.
And then she goes, just shoot them! Because like everyone's like, what, are you doing a thing? And I think a bunch of people fire some shots. Some crows file into the front of the cave, and there's probably a ballista bolt. Does that sound fine?
Sure.
Yeah.
And I think we're just gonna wrap this mission up with Bo and
then
there's-
Rhea and Zainova get engaged.
Say, there's a very important question to be asked in this, which is that Zainova looks to Rhea to see if she kind of just made the gesture earlier.
I just have the feeling that like Zayanova just like finished murdering something with her pistol and then
Yep.
looks at Rhea and is like, I love you. Like,
Spear. Yeah, she's got a herd spear.
Oh,
It's
the Herd
buried,
spear, yes.
it's buried
Yeah.
inside one of these things, right? Because she doesn't fight a distance, right? She gets up and then she looks up from this dead thing that Rhea has clearly just saved them all from, and she looks up and it's just like, there's only so many times you could save me. And like before I, I have to repay the debt somehow, and I don't know. That sounds wrong.
Yeah, it's like no, you don't. Nobody wants to get engaged because of the debt.
Exactly. That. But I think that she clearly is saved by Rhea's thing.
Yeah.
Is like looks up and is like, it goes from this like, yeah, we killed the thing to this like, so yes.
Of course, yes, dummy. Come on.
And she just leaves the spear and this thing because she has more important things to do.
Yeah.
Run to Rhea's embrace.
And
Aw.
kissing.
Hey.
so cute. So now there are giant siege weapons on the mountainside. That sounds good. Cool. So clearly the writer's room just really did not want to see these folks get murdered horribly.
No, they really did.
And even though this is a horrible, grimdark setting, the two of them are going to find some happiness amidst all of the awful. All right, cool. And finally, last but not least, let's talk about the last mission.
All right, so
Hold the second wave.
Yep.
Fight off a lieutenant and its undead at the walls. Your chosen will take the field. Make a 10 clock for the chosen and the lieutenant as they clash. The undead will attempt to scale the walls and get in. If the ramparts and gate mission is complete, add +1d to the engagement roll. Assign 1 unit and up to 3 specialists.
all right, so we only have 1 specialist left.
Oh,
So, yeah, Voyus.
Oh wow.
Misha was gaming this. She was.
I was calculating properly.
Yeah, she was playing the numbers.
So we are sending the Emberwolves, who are currently rolling with Flavia. Thank you.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, Flavia's taking Marin Petrovic's place.
Yep. So yes, we're all Oathsworn. Commander, are you spinning your intel on this one, or do we?
No reason not to.
There's
Yeah,
no other rolls
yeah.
this game.
All right.
Yes, so
Or
we're
no
spinning
other
those.
engagement rolls.
We're not all specialists or soldiers. Nobody just trusts your fears. We have a required specialist. This is an assault, yes.
Mm-hmm.
You have 1 last black shot or a religious supply?
I don't have religious supply, but I got plenty of black shot.
All right. And nobody is starting wounded. So that is 4 dice.
Nice.
Unless I'm missing something about somebody. That's
Nope.
Did you add one for the Ramparts mission being complete?
Yes, I did add 1 for the ramparts.
Yep, sounds right then.
Alrighty. Only 1 6. Sorry.
Only 1 6. It's just me right through this mission.
Well, it's controlled, so that's good. So yeah, I think let's take a quick breather before this, by the way. And I feel like it's nighttime. The enemy has been digging its way through that dropped mountainside that you folks placed in their way. And in particular, there's one group that is mounted and faster than others, which is the Black Oak Knights, right? So Render arrives at the scene, and I think Zora is standing on the keep atop the walls, staring out towards where these people are coming up. But there is the rest of the day, right? Like, you folks bind the doors, everyone returns back. There have been some horrific victories. And everyone's like, yeah, we're ready. We're pumped. It's going to be great. And you have a beat until the battle commences. So in these last few minutes, what are folks doing? Let's do just like a couple of little cute things, just to see how it all goes down. So like, everyone just take a moment, pick a character you love, and tell us what they're doing in the couple of hours they have, like, as a breath between battles.
I think Voyus is standing next to Zora. They've fought before side by side in other times. And Voyus is sort of like, looks at her. His beard is perfectly dyed. It's recently dyed blue. It's just a very well coiffed. But like, he also, I think, in the cold, whatnot, there's like this, he's showing the signs of age and she isn't. Like, he fought with her a long time ago and hasn't really changed. And so there's a certain like weariness to him, and he's like, so I guess we're gonna do this one more time.
She looks at him and she says, the thing that makes life beautiful is that it never stops fighting for itself. It aches to always scream its existence at the world and at the future. And she looks at him and she says, perhaps with you one more time, but I will fight until I can't fight anymore. And she seems to put more gravitas into that statement. Like, that statement means more than just the words indicate, right? Like she's not just saying, I'm gonna fight some more battles, right? Like she's actually saying like, I feel like I will eventually die, but I'm not going to give up my existence that easily, right? Like which maybe doesn't mean much to anyone else, but for a group of chosen who are destined to die, that's a very weird statement. But that's what she says.
Yeah. I think Voice says you only know things. Sometimes you only realize things are precious when you lose them, and I think we know life is precious because it ends.
I think Zora just looks at him and she says, I think that is a lesson my father will never understand.
It's a shame. And like, he goes back to doing the thing. Nice. That was great. That felt like a remarkably human conversation with a chosen.
Yep. How about the rest of you? Would you like to pick a character to tell us what they're doing in the breath between battles?
Are Rhea and Zionova getting married?
I mean, they could be. Do you want to do this
The
like
Marshal would totally officiate if that was a thing you wanted to happen.
I kind of want that to happen. Yeah.
So, Lore Master, I have a question. Is there
Yeah.
any precedent for this? Is it okay?
Ooh.
Like, is it okay for Legionnaires to marry? Is it encouraged? Is it some?
I
Imagine it's encouraged.
no, I don't think it's encouraged. I think that it's happened on rare occasions. But I think the fact that like Rhea is a medic kind of gives the situation just enough leeway that it's like, oh, okay, cool. I think if Rhea wasn't a medic, like if there was 2 officers or something, it would be like, no, that's right out.
Huh, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, that was certainly the intent. Do you want to frame a little?
So I actually have a much more bizarre question, which is, which custom do you folks do? Is it a Sympathetic wedding or a Barton wedding?
Yeah, that's a really good question.
Sorry,
I mean, I think
it's relevant to Josh.
No, it's great. It's great. I think it's whichever one we can get together faster.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like it's,
I mean, Zionova has made a lot of effort to try and follow Barton customs. Like,
she has, yeah.
Given Rhea tokens, like sort of like she's tried to like honor those as much as she can. So I think she would be fine. But I do imagine there's something of like, I feel like with Zemlya,
if you're doing that, you're probably exchanging wedding charms and not bands.
Fair. I mean, maybe it's. I only made one.
Because the
right?
Bartons have that whole like charm thing where you give somebody a charm to indicate your like loyalty to the other person and like the fact that they did something for you.
Yeah.
They probably don't use like rings.
Yeah.
Not in the same fashion.
It's okay. The ring can be an engagement ring, a decorative ring, something else that was a sign, but the actual marriage is sealed with a.
Oh my God, Sean! Somebody in chat said, "Is it a Lutheran wedding or a Satanist wedding?" Which is a callback to our fiasco game from 2 days ago.
Right. I was okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the exchange of charms is great. I think the one Zemlya tradition that Zionova would want though is for someone to like, there's someone that's like a family member or like a close friend or something like that, like vouches for the couple, like somebody that says like, I stand for these people, and then like everyone else is supposed to like stand up and agree as well. Like someone that like, it's not like a pastor who marries them. It's like somebody who like says like, yep, these people are good.
Isn't the commander Zemyati?
I believe our commander is Zemyati. Yeah. So Jay, would commander like speak for Zaya and Zionova and Rhea? You don't have to say anything if you don't like. I don't expect you to have like a marriage toast prepared or anything like that. But like,
okay, no, yeah.
Cool.
All right, cool.
Awesome.
So we have a scene of two warriors, one ancient, the other one ancient but effectively immortal, standing on a wall, and then we have a very cozy scene on the inside where people actually take their coats off, and there's like a fast like hand fasting / wedding thing going on. So that's rad.
Nice.
Jay, Misha, do you have any moments between the battles that you want to look at?
So I think there's another scene of Zora and the marshal standing on a battlement, like looking down, and the marshal trying not to freak out because she doesn't like heights.
Oh yeah, I forgot the martial guides. I love it.
So looks like we're doing pretty good here. I'm trying not to jinx ourselves, but this is going far better than I expected.
Zora turns around and looks at the marshal very calmly and says, "My brother is not here yet, but he is coming." And she points as if you can see through a mountain.
If you're not worried about your brother, because I believe in you, so then I'm not worried about your brother.
She smiles, almost as if you said like a really, really, really funny joke. And she says, "I will burn as hotly as I can, but in the end, only one glory will survive." She shrugs and says, "When you fought enough battles, that there is naught to do but to set your feet upon the path. We will clash, and one of us will walk away. I have a good chance. I have." And she actually kind of smiles a second time, which, freaking unheard of. Somebody mark a calendar. And she goes, "A plan."
I'll take it.
The problem with people covered in armor, she like looks back out across the battlefield, and you realize that like she's got armor on, but it's like a very different category. Like Render walks around in like black full plate. She says, "The problem with people covered in armor is they expect that they're invulnerable."
At a point of clarification, when we were at Barrack Mines, they pretty much wrecked each other pretty
Oh, yeah.
badly. And Render didn't get no flames of Kavala to like patch himself back up.
Nope.
Like Zora did. Yeah. Cool.
Although he's had a lot longer, right? So the difference, see, to you, you're just like, well, he didn't get no flames of Kavala, so he's like not nearly as good. And Zora's like, yes, but his cinder comes from the Cinder King. It's very different. You see, never mind. like
Okay.
Flavia would understand, but you couldn't. But no, since I'm talking to Sean, all I'm saying is Render will be at roughly the same strength that he was at Barrack Mines. He did get wrecked. It took him significantly longer than Zora to recuperate, but he's got the same way that she does. Just he's come from the Cinder King, right? So, but specifically what she's referring to is she's expecting to hold Render's attention, and she's expecting to clash with him on the even footing, but she's got a she's got a Flavia, and Render doesn't expect that. So she's playing cards, right?
She's got a Flavia.
Yeah.
Flavia.
She's got a Flavia. What?
So-
Flavia can hurt Render just enough for him to get distracted. That's a good plan, right? No problem.
yeah,
He'll be fine.
Oh,
Right.
Flavia's gonna die.
No,
Maybe.
Flavia's not gonna die.
Test your glory, little one. You wanted the fire. Use it. So,
That is true.
awesome. Do you have anything else you want Misha out of this scene?
Nah.
Jay, any last minute moments?
I think maybe we see Matali. Maybe he's a little cranky, a little annoyed over this quiet time.
Oh,
So he's prepping, getting his gear ready, resharpening his anything that's sharp, polishing up his.
does he have that sword from the Cinder Guard in episode 1?
Yes, yes. So maybe he's working with that too, right? Knocking out dents in his shield. The problem, if we're the audience, is that in this quiet time, right, he's got to think about dying, right? Because we're this close to it, and in dying, what happens after that, right? And if he's not taken the spiritual path of his people, right, he doesn't have those answers, right? And that's all frustrating. And that's where he's at, right? When we're in battle, he's doing the thing. Don't have time to think about the other stuff. Right now, and it's quiet, and there's plenty of time to think about those things. And he hates this.
So you see him like pounding, and then pounding
Yeah.
harder, and then like
Yeah.
ah, until like
Yeah.
the shield has like extra dents.
Yeah, so that's where he's at.
Awesome. Cool.
Yes.
So I think there's this moment where
Josh, can I squeeze in one tiny quick one? I'm sorry, I had a scene,
Yeah.
but I realized I realized I have to ask Zora a thing as quartermaster.
yeah, that's fine.
He like brings this bag and it's very, very heavy, clearly, and he's like, "I'm gonna give this to Flavia unless you tell me that you really are gonna use this to end our foe."
Damn.
And it's clearly got the hammer of Matiar in it. I have not trusted you up until this point, but I have to say, because I don't trust people, I don't understand. But you've done everything that we could ever ask. And even a grumpy old man like me has to admit that you've helped us in a way, you've gotten us further than we ever could have gotten without you. Flavia was the one to find this. I think she should be the one to wield it. But if you want it, and like he opens up the bag and like is holding it, but like not wielding it. He says he knows what happens when you touch it by the handle, right? So, like, and he's like holding it out to her, like if she wants it, she can just take it. What do you say?
If we win, you're gonna need it to upkeep this keep.
I would like it back.
If I take it, you will not get back what you expect. And then she looks at you very seriously and says, you should never trust the gods.
I was so close. Only got me in the end. And I like that.
And at the end of that, she says, when all that is said and all the cards are on the table, I still want the hammer.
Yeah, well, I think she said that in the wrong order.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, because I just
Well,
like,
what about Sunrender? Like, we have 2 relics here.
I cannot fight him for it.
yeah, she said she can't use Sunrider because it's
Oh,
broken.
okay.
No, the hammer is not broken. It's not from a broken god. We've
Gotcha,
I
gotcha.
can use Sunrider to Voyus or whatnot, but the hammer was the thing that Flavia.
She smiles and puts a hand on your shoulder and she says, perhaps you should farm our way to victory. Or you should start crafting umbrellas. And you look up and the sky is no longer clear. It is covered in strange black clouds, almost as if like some sort of ash is overhead. She claps you once on the shoulder and then something cool happens, which is, so as you all may know, when Nyx, who is, so Nyx is the goddess of the moon.
Yeah.
When she took form, was Silver Dancing Moonlight, I think was the name of well, I'll have to double check. That might be a different name. But they always take orphans. Anyway, when she fused into a human and became a chosen, when that chosen became broken, the moon shattered. And so the moon right now is cracked and there's a chunk of it missing, but there's also like a ring of rocks that reflect moonlight at weird angles and like spin slowly and stuff like that. And I think there's a moment where like there's a new weather pattern and it's called moonfall, which is like the first pebble hits the ground and then a second one, and you realize that your last battlefield is going to have like giant meteoric chunks of fire coming down and like rocking the whole area. And Zora said, Told you it would rain. And she just turns around and looks like straight off the parapet at, the undead coming up.
Nice. I really wish that
could rain fire.
Quartermaster could be cool enough to like pop an umbrella, but there's no way.
You need a metal one.
Exactly. Oh! I totally know what happens. Like he goes a little while, then he just like leans over and pulls a shield off of.
Yeah, you hear like a ding off of it.
Nice.
He's walking to the shield. Where's Flavia?
Awesome. So let's do the final engagement roll of the game, which is.
You did it already.
So Sean, do you want to know what would happen if you give her the hammer?
Yeah, sure.
She eats it and hands you back a normal hammer. Not literally, but yeah. I talked to John about this, and we decided that if she consumes it, she gains 2 favor. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that was gonna give her. I was thinking about giving her blood of fire, where she would like pour out her blood into like vials and give you effectively grenades.
That'd be cool. Oh
Yeah.
well.
No, it's fine. You should always go with the roleplay reasons. It's just since we're
Well,
wrapping up the campaign, it's one of those questions that I think is fun to answer.
Yeah. No, 100%. And also, I think even then, Quartermaster still would have made that same choice to give it to the human over the chosen.
Well, it's also I think what Zora is asking indirectly is, do you think we'll win?
Yeah.
Because if you don't think we'll win, give me the hammer because it might give us the edge.
Right.
But if you think we'll win, then trust your people, trust your plans. Don't do this just because I'm telling you to do this. Like, stop. Like, she's given away a little bit of her hand. But yeah, that comment is in a moment of weakness. But she's like, yes, never trust the gods. So
Nice.
She doesn't. So hey, yeah, let's do this. Engagement roll time.
He's never trusted the gods, Josh.
No, he hasn't, and I think that's awesome. I think that's important in a world where gods walk in the friggin' flesh.
Yeah.
Are we doing the engagement? Are we not doing the hold the second wave?
We did.
We are. Hold the
that's
second
what we're
wave
doing
as an
right now.
engagement roll, just like everything else does.
Yeah, we already did the engagement roll for it.
Oh,
Yeah.
you did? That was a 6, right? My bad.
So long. Yeah.
So I think there's a moment where Mihkin, the Dark General, shows up, and he's a lieutenant with basically like most of the Black Oak Knights at his beck and call. And I think that Zora is like, all right, they've got like, towers and a battering ram for the door, and they're gonna come up over the parapets and the walls. But yeah, she's just like, all right, here's the plan. I'm gonna jump down. I'm gonna head for their like command unit, and I'm going to try and cut my way through like however many units they have and engage the guy on the horse. And there's like a dude with like freaking skulls on his shoulders because he has the skulls of the generals that disagreed with him when he decided that the Black Oak Knights would stay with Render. He murdered them and mounted their skulls on his shoulder because he's metal. Yeah, it was really funny. When we did the art for that, we were like, knights, but evil. So she drew a bunch of knights, and we're just like, can you make them more metal? So like they had like 100% more skulls. And I was like, yeah. So our artist, this is totally awesome. Anyway, so yeah, I think that's he's sitting on a horse, and he just like makes a gesture, and you see like units moving up and like hounds being released to scale the walls, and that's where we're gonna go. So you're in a control position. They're not like over the walls murdering you. They're coming up the walls, and like the battering ram has like rolled up to the gate, and they're getting ready to like curse smash mafy it. And that's kind of where we're gonna start. So you folks, who's here? It's obviously it's Voyus. Who's playing what?
It's Voyus, Flavia, and the rest of the
Rolls.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, clearly Jen wants to play Flavia.
Yes, please.
Sean, you want to take Voyus?
Sure.
Do you have any particular attachment towards any of the remaining wolves, Jay?
No, I'll play any of them.
They are all blank slates.
Yeah,
Any-
I'm like, oh,
like
they're
to play
all-
Voyus. I'm totally happy to play a Numberwolf too. Like that's like all of those sound cool to me. So if anyone's like, I want to play a character that's established. You're
No, I'll take a rookie. I'm good.
You
Hell
want to
yeah.
Mikhailovich?
Awesome.
And I will take Teal Standing Forest. Because,
Why not? Cool
That'd be
plan
fun.
here. Ended
Yeah.
up. Awesome. So what's the plan here, troops?
We're gonna fuck some shit up.
Hell yeah.
Because I could see it being Voice, but I could also see it being Flavia. Unless you would not like to do that, Jen.
Wait, doing what now? Sorry.
Who's in charge?
Wondering who's in charge in the mission.
Oh, I don't personally love being in charge, but I
Yeah,
could
it
do
could
it if you guys want me to.
It could totally be Voice because Flavia's just like, me be in charge? Are you kidding? I'm gonna do my cool stuff.
Yeah.
I sort of see Flavia like kind of half paying attention to orders at this point,
Yep.
and like she'll stand up and she'll get the job done, but she is a different person than she was last week.
Yeah. Voice is used to people who are like touched by the god. He's been there himself, right? He's had ghosts haunting him. So if like you're
Still
listening,
does.
yeah, he does. So if you're listening to things that like aren't that other people don't hear, it doesn't throw him off that much. He doesn't freak out about it. It doesn't make a point of it. In fact, I think that's the more important thing.
Oh, as a point of note, Jen, nobody else hears this because like it's not said audibly, but when Zora ignites her sword, it's like a you hear it almost like a chant. Like she says, "I invoke thee, sword that shatters heaven's gate," and the sword like ignites. Her crown goes on fire, and she's just like, "Let's do this."
Awesome. I love it.
Like other people are just like, "Oh, Zora turned her crown on," but like you actually hear it clearly as if she's like speaking right next to you.
Mm-hmm. Can I turn my hair fire on?
Sure, you can just do that.
Okay.
Like, sweet hair fire. I have burned for weeks and suffered, but I have hair fire. Awesome. I think you can turn your hair fire on as long as you have your weaved out. Once you spend it, you probably
Okay.
don't have enough juice.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
that fair?
That's totally fair.
All right, rad. Let's do this. So
Alright.
yeah, who wants to do what? Like you folks are in control. You're in a controlled position. What are you doing?
So I'm just trying to think of like how this is different than the last, right? The last pass. So they're all in cavalry and they're coming up and we're at the gates itself, right?
Not all. As a matter of fact, Black Oak Knights can be cavalry, but they can also be pike.
Mhm.
And as a matter of fact, a number of them are on foot because they have to roll little like siege towers up, right? Like that's not a thing you do necessarily as cavalry. So they've got like their cavalry is ready to like swoop in and support and like take units out that are harassing them. But not all of them are like that. And they've also got hounds. So they've got a bunch of hounds that they can release to like climb up those towers super quick or like climb up the walls, do that, skitter up the side of a wall with their like weird backwards limbs and stuff.
Is it fair to say that we've got a lot of fire support between the siege weapons being up top and all the other preps that we've done?
That's probably what's making it controlled, right? Like so, like they're pushing it forward, and you're seeing like the siege weapons like do the, and then
Right.
like like there's like misses and ranging, and then like like a siege weapon hits a tower, and the tower like leans for a second, and just as it's going to right itself, like a meteor from the heavens hits it, and it like just explodes.
So I think what they see, like in addition to all these things, if it's okay, I mean, I'm not an officer with channels to make this happen, but this is more for cinematic effect than anything else. They just see the steam engines that have made them all the way up here, and they've been placed in the front, and they just start moving towards them. And they don't move very fast, but they're like these indomitable machines, and they're just like coming down the pass at them, and there's nobody on them. And like from their perspective, they're like, what are these just like machines of war presumably coming at them? Are they going to fire on us? And we're all hanging on the backs, like ready to jump off. And as soon as we can basically like jump on them and like get a really good, get a good
Okay,
engagement.
so they think that you're on top of the walls ready to fight them, but what you've actually done is left the rest of the Legion on the walls, and you're doing a sneak attack.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so let me get this straight.
One
So
second.
we're not actually gonna fight the siege. We don't care so much about the siege. If we kill the general, there is no siege. So the plan is that you people are a sneak attack force that's gonna murder the general. Is that correct?
That is first we
They've
lost
got these
audio.
like ballista.
Hello.
Alrighty.
I'm in chat. Let them know.
All right, we're back. Yep.
And we're
So-
back.
Okay. So what you missed is that we're riding our siege engines in to sneak attack them from behind. I don't know how much when they got cut out, but yes, but we're going to. So say that again, that last part again, Josh, because
Yeah, so in World War II, this was totally a strategy where like units would hunker in and like fold in behind tanks, and the tanks would like bullets would bounce off of them, and they would eat like light rocket fire and things like that. So I think that's actually what's happening is these siege engines are coming in, and if you recall, Heartless, they have those black javelins that we've seen like a bunch of times.
Yeah.
Well, those black javelins are actually pretty huge. Like Heartless themselves are like 10 to 12 feet tall, and so like the javelins are actually pretty big, and they actually make them to put on ballista. And so the Black Oak Knights will actually haul ballista with horses and rotate into position. So they fire a couple of ballista at your siege engines, and it's exactly like that. You see the black spear come in, and you see it glance off with like green fire, and everyone behind the like siege engine is pretty safe. So you're in a controlled position. How do you want to like what's the plan? Do we want to do like just like a skirmish? Do we want to like?
I think so. I think it's a jump. I mean, I don't think we can get right to the general, so I think it's like a jump to break their line, scare their horse. Their horse is not typically scarable, but like break their line, take out their ballista, cut down their front soldiers so that we can get to the general. Yeah, I think this is scatter them. That's scatter them, break a hole. I know what it is. It's break a hole so that we can get to the general. So we don't
Awesome.
have to. We don't have to defeat them here. We just have to get the general. Because
All right, so is this like a maneuver? Is this a skirmish? Like, what's the plan?
I think it's a skirmish.
Yeah, I feel like it is. All right, so let's do a controlled group skirmish.
Nice.
Only one of you two, Jay and Misha, needs to roll because you're rolling for the whole squad. So whichever of you has a better skirmish should probably drop those dice.
I got a 1.
How's your skirmish, Jay?
You're
Is
muted.
it 2? You're muted.
2, yeah.
All right, so maybe Jay, you throw those
Hey,
dice.
lead this bad boy.
Cool. Controlled standard effect. Our
Yeah.
goal is really just to get to the general.
Yeah, and you've got all the advantages on your side. You've got your little tanks and everything. You don't have numbers technically, but they're also not prepared for the strategy. The majority of their numbers are advancing towards the wall.
Yeah.
I feel like we need Red of the Valkyries playing in the background somehow.
I feel like that's very appropriate.
I feel like Flavia just wants to go in and wreck some shit.
Yes, we will get you there. That's the plan.
Come
Plan is
on,
to get
buddy.
Flavia in front of this general so she can blow him up. Control standard effect. All right, I'm doing it.
Nice.
We're in.
So many sixes.
Yes.
We've been saving him up the whole game.
Yeah, right?
There's the one.
That is a crit because I have lead from the front.
Holy shit! All right.
If you get a script action in combat, you may count multiple sixes from different rolls as a crit. Boom!
Flavia, you want to throw a skirmish in there too?
I can. I'm not very good at skirmish.
That's all right.
But controlled standard, yes.
Yep.
I got a 2.
It's okay. It's one stress, and I'll tell you what that stress is. I think that you folks are doing really well. And there's a moment where like Flavia is wrecking someone real bad, right? Like the carts go in, right? Like you see some like hounds jumping on it, people are like skirmishing them down. You folks charge right into the midst of like a Black Oak unit. And there's a moment where like Flavia just like goes through 2 people. What's her weapon of choice?
The Hammer of Matiar.
Oh yeah. So she like goes through people, right?
Yeah.
And she's standing like atop a mountain, like her arm, you know, like shuddering with that power. And that's when a single black arrow comes out of nowhere, and it would instantly kill her, except for the fact that Zora catches it midair.
Nice.
And she just looks at it and then like looks down at Voice and says, "This will be a problem." And like there's like meteors like raining from the sky and everything, but she's just like looking at him and like drops the arrow. And where the arrow hits the ground, you see it actually like corrupting the soil.
Oh.
We just have to get there.
We need a plan.
Give me a sense, Josh. How's the battlefield change right now? What?
So I'm gonna say that the general is maybe like 100 yards ahead of you. He's surrounded by like an elite unit of people, but you know that if you come at him, the thing that makes him threat for is that he's a master general. So he probably has like booby traps. He probably has like other units in reserve that are gonna riddle you with arrows. And what you just discovered is that he's got the Black Archer on his side, the Sable Arrow. That's her nickname. So like the Sable Arrow has actually like fired like a corrupting arrow from like her hidden like sniper position.
Got it.
But she like I am using her as like a threat more than like a second lieutenant on the field. I'm putting it all into that 112 clock for him.
Right.
And actually you had standard effect, so I'm just gonna
I had great effect because we got a crit.
You got a great effect. That is correct. And there you go.
Nice.
Let me make sure that that's the right size clock.
All right. So I get a sense of what direction the arrow came from?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. I think Voyas yells. Everybody. I think. Everyone. Voyas yells like hunker down, and issues everyone to get on the opposite side of the. So we were hanging out in the back, and then we got on top of them when we were fighting on top of these engines, and we're just going to keep rolling towards the general. But now we're all going to be hiding off on the side so that we have cover from the Sable Arrow.
Cool. So do you want to do like a maneuver roll and see how it like a maneuver?
Yeah, and I think the maneuver is like one part getting cover, one part advancing as the machines are moving forward.
Misha, do you want to roll for the squad? And then Sean, are you leading as Voice?
I'll lead.
All right, cool. So let's do a group maneuver.
Sure. Controlled, risky, what?
It's gonna be risky and it's gonna be standard. The reason it's risky is there's like booby traps and other stuff, but the arrows are gonna be less effective. And it's standard because if you do it, we're gonna get the expected effect, which is that you're gonna get right up to the hill that the general's on, which is largely gonna put you slightly less in danger because the sniper's going to have to fire through her own troops. Now, she's a master sniper, so that might happen, but we'll see.
Yeah. And
it's tricky, right? Like she can't just do it with impunity.
I'm going to treat us like we're an individual. I forgot to say this last time. I'm treat us like an individual rather than a group because of lead from the front. I'm shifting our scale down so that we're harder individually. We're harder to pin down
Right.
as everyone's hiding. I don't know that'll affect a position or effect, but it's worth.
Yeah. You're going for like a scale modifier that helps you, right? Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. I think we're hard to pick off.
I think so. All right, give it a go.
Cool.
Let's see some. Oh, that's not a stress. At least that's a 4.
Risky standard, right?
Yeah.
All right.
That's
cool.
a 5. Inching up there. Can you bring it home, Flavia?
Flavia, you want to give us a?
Yeah. So I get this is risky standard.
I think you can. Does Flavia have over the top?
Yeah, she does.
I think that's fair in this case since we are well outnumbered. We're charging into their teeth.
I got a 4.
Technically, that should be maneuver, and it should be at +1D.
I did do maneuver.
Yeah, there's something glitchy with the maneuver button where it'll roll shoot. I don't.
Do you want me to redo it? Yeah,
Yeah,
because
please
I
do.
get 2 to
Yeah, you should have 3 dice instead of 1.
risky standard. 3 dice.
Right. Well, your maneuvers 2, right?
My maneuver is 1.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
There we go. Still a 4.
That's okay. Awesome. So yeah, I think well, let's do some stuff here.
Yeah, what's at risk?
Let me set up a clock real quick. Well,
I did clear that stress that I picked up from picking up the hammer, though.
Oh yeah.
One second. There we go. So I think two things are going to happen. I think the first that's going to happen is I think there's probably a moment when you folks make it most of the way, and then there's probably some like a mantlet, which is like a little wooden palisade that's in your way. And as you go to like swerve around it, there's an explosion. You know, the one cart tips over. Like people have to like scramble to like get to the second cart or whatever. And at that point, you know, the archer, the sable arrow, she like puts a couple more rounds into people, and Zora intercepts them, but she gets hit, and you can actually see like some of her skin corrupting. She doesn't seem concerned about it, right? Like she's just like, I'll be fine, but like she's still harmed, right? Like this is an unusual condition. You folks are used to Zora being practically freaking invulnerable.
Right.
I would like to resist that, please.
How would you resist that, Jen? Tell me a story.
I mean, I kind of want to just copy the thing that she just did for me, right? Like now that I know that the arrows are coming in, it's not going to be as graceful as she did it, and mine's probably like I probably just barely make it, right? Or maybe I don't even catch it. Maybe I just knock it out of the way.
Pinging
Awesome.
out of the air with
Yeah.
a hammer.
Yeah, I was gonna say like hammer.
Yeah.
Wow, that's kind of badass. Do you want to do that? Like, is that an insight resist? No, maneuver is physical, so this is gonna be prowess.
Cool. And then I have Devil's Own Luck, so I get +1.
Nice.
Oh wow, you were
You're
fierce
a
for a
rookie.
rookie. I forgot that. That's amazing.
That's a crit.
So you would clear another stress, but you don't have a
I
stress.
don't
to
have
clear.
any. I'm super not
But
stressed.
you're just like, I would like to resist this with near human precision. I'm like, I don't know about. You're like, but what if I crit? I'm like, well, like, I guess I'll have to have that.
If you
Yeah.
crit, it's obvious.
So I think maybe there is a moment where you literally catch the arrow right in front of her shoulder. Do you say anything, or do you just like look? Do you look back at your troops and go, "This is going to be a problem"? I'm sorry.
I love that. I don't actually think I say anything though.
Okay.
I think
Do
I
you give
do
a
look
rakish
at-
grin?
I think I look at Zora and I'm kind of like looking for her approval, right?
Mm.
I
I
think
don't say anything.
there's a okay. So I want to tell you something. Like to everyone else, Zora just looks at you, but to you, you're starting to read her a little bit more clearly.
Mhm.
And you realize that she's looking at you almost with concern, like you're either changing or evolving a little too fast or faster than she anticipated. So she's like almost studying you, like, are you okay? And then
Yeah.
you're just like clang, and she's just like, I guess that's a thing. So
Guess humans are more impressive than I thought they were. So Josh, you said there was
Actually-
two effects. Was one of them reduced effect that like we didn't get all the way there, or
no, I just destroyed your cover now. So like your little carts,
Yeah.
like it fell over. So like you're not going to be able to like write it and reuse it and like repair it and stuff within this scene.
I would like to resist that.
How would you resist that?
And this is from all my time sailing. This is hilarious to me that this is appropriate. But so when you're sailing tiny little boats, the way you keep the way
Yeah, you grab it and you pull it to the other side. I've seen
exactly.
this with the
So
mast.
there's all these ropes on this thing, and so as it starts to tip over, Voyas goes. I mean, I don't think Voyas has ever sailed. I don't know, but Voyas says everybody lean, and then there's like this. Like he grabs with all his weight and a couple others, they grab the ropes and they just stand on the edge that's like it's tipping, and then like it kind of goes up, and it tips back down again, and it
All
rights
right. You're gonna
So-
give me prowess resist voice?
Browse resist for you, yeah. And the sixes are flowing.
Ah!
Clear stress.
Clears his stress.
Nice.
I
Yeah.
swear to everybody watching at home, the
This is-
writers just love these characters. We're not cheating. We're just clicking the buttons. So all right, awesome.
We keep them rolling.
Yeah, cool. So the next obstacle is the troops surrounding the dark, or the dark general. So like,
Yeah.
what does that look like?
What are they? What are his troops?
2 units of Black Oak Knights. One is mounted, one is pike. And the pike is trying to engage and hem you in so that the cavalry can rake across you. And they've got like ballista next to him, and you see him like basically like giving orders effectively, where he like reaches out and somebody like holds up like a flare gun and he just like fires one off, and then somebody like tries to offer him another one. He's like, no, he points at a different one, fires a different flare off, whatever. He's like organizing them like super efficiently.
Nice.
His powers. So yeah, what do you folks want to do?
I'm inclined to just go fight them. Like I think we're in a good position to do that.
Can I chuck a grenade at them before our people get in there?
Yes. Give me just 1 second. Go ahead. Yeah, you can totally chuck a grenade. You can wreck using your hammer to try and like open a path that those folks may not anticipate. You can do whatever you want.
You could wreck with the siege engines that were with the machines that were rolling through.
Could, although that would probably destroy them. Well, maybe not. You're but they have like spikes and palisades and nonsense.
Yeah.
Can I wreck with a grenade?
Yeah.
Sweet. I'm gonna do that.
That is actually a skill that's used to throw grenades. It's literally on the back of the sheet. So,
I'm doing that.
Nice.
They're not in roll 20.
Are you yeah, roll 20 is updated. Well, I mean everybody
I feel like I get the bonus die if I wreck with the hammer of Matiar, but I really just want to chuck a grenade at these people.
Just do it. Push, do it.
Cool.
It's awesome.
I am gonna push, yes, because I'm a weapon master.
Yes, you are.
And this isn't melee necessarily, but
well, I mean, it can be. Like you just charge forward, and when you say wreck, what you mean is the grenade takes care of the left, and me and my weapon master hammer take care of the right.
Yeah,
and that's fine.
If that's the Voyus be at your back, he is using his signature Kingfisher blade, and he is there like over like whenever something comes over your shoulder, like lunging. I want to assist because I have backup. So that makes it push cheaper.
John or Sean's favorite.
It's become my favorite move. Like
it is one of mine actually. The first character I ever played started with that. So.
Yeah. So I think one of the guys on cavalry, like as they're swooping down, like you just see the Kingfisher blade just like slide up over and sever a limb before it would come swinging at you. I'm just calling it a.
I love it. No, I love it. It's great. Is this risky? Great.
I think so.
Great.
I think so.
All right.
Risky great, and you get an assist die from Sean, and you can push for 1 stress.
Okay, I'm gonna do that, and then do I also get the bonus die for the hammer?
You do.
Okay.
Shosh, did our last maneuver roll advance the American clock?
Yes, it was standard. So
standard.
Click.
Okay. We're getting closer to him.
1, 2, 3. Okay.
How about a crit?
How about a crit?
I'll take crit.
How is this happening? All right,
a lot of dice in this case. But.
It was a lot of dice.
Yeah.
Awesome. So yeah, I think Flavia just turns Flavia and Voice turn into like a whirlwind of destruction. You folks wanna take a final engage against Meekin to the rest of the troops? Rookies, would you like to shoot the guy? I mean, like while these folks are taking care of everything else.
Sure. What's the worst that can happen?
Yeah, why not?
That would be hilarious. Yeah, rookies, you want to finish the general?
I mean, that's how it works, right? Like bullets.
We've got black shot. It can happen.
He's alive. He's actually regular shot will work just as fine.
Yeah. But I love it.
His strength is general, and we just bowled down a bunch of the pins on that lane. So
mind you though, like he's theoretically threat 4, but I think so. Like whenever you have a threat 4 creature, you have to say like, what does threat 4 mean? What it means for him is that he's surrounded by a small army that understands that if he twitches his left finger, this is what the command means. Mm-hmm. So you have systematically destroyed his defenses, his archers, his pikemen, his cavalry. And like at this point, he's basically like a dude with like 5 guys. So I'm actually going to reduce his threat slightly, but I'm going to say that you folks are probably going to want to push for effect because you're going to start it limited just because he's still got a couple of people and he's still kind of a badass.
All right. So risky limited.
Yeah, risky limited. You can make it desperate great if you want to charge in and do a skirmish instead, or you can just push for effect, which is a lot safer. Jay, Misha, thoughts?
Screw it, it's last roll of the game, right?
That's true.
Probably.
So skirmish.
Well, we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Don't roll badly.
So we're pushing it to risky.
No, it's
Great.
risky limited.
Risky standard. if
Or
you prefer.
desperate, great.
It would be desperate standard, actually.
Oh,
Right,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
the standard. Yeah.
Right, but you can instead push to make it risky standard, and
But then you wouldn't be able to push for extra dice. It's up to you. Well, actually, technically, you could. You could push for effect and
yeah.
for a die. But yeah.
Josh, it
could
doesn't. I
push
don't
it.
think we're in a position to assist them, right?
No,
I would
No, pretty
help-
much. You folks are busy dismantling everything else.
And this is skirmish.
If it's desperate, yes, it's skirmish.
Okay.
And you can
Okay.
push yourself for a die.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. There's going to be dead rookies. So many dead rookies. Jay, bring it home. Where's that 6?
I'm getting there. Okay, there we go.
I mean, you did it. Nisha has done it. Lots of dead rookies, but it's done.
And my 1 bonus die.
I don't think you rolled the right one.
Hey.
Yeah, that's
no,
right.
I rolled right.
I rolled the
No.
right one.
But
I mean-
I clicked skirmish. Okay, let me
Okay.
No,
We've
there's
been
something
we've
a
been
little
having
weird.
problems with it.
I don't know what's been going on.
my 1 bonus die. Ugh.
All right, nada. So, which one of you is leading it?
I can.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So you do it. You're going to finish off whatever's left, and you're going to take out the general. So I'm just going to mark him as dead. That's a true statement. We're done with that discussion. But here's the catch. The catch is y'all die. So how does that not happen, or does that happen? Do you folks die? The Ember Wolves get exterminated to a person finishing the mission?
I would say no to that. I'm not going to die.
Sounds good. How do you reduce it only to terrifying armor? Armor is fine.
Can we protect? Can we jump
Yeah,
in?
you absolutely can.
Because
Oh yeah,
Voyas-
I have a bunch of stress to burn.
I have 3 anchor that I haven't even touched, and I've got
Awesome.
bulwark. So I think
Well, 1 anchor in bulwark and 1 anchor for Flavia would do it.
Yeah.
exactly that's my my sense. So what kind of, how are they cut down? Is it arrows? Is it,
Yeah, I actually don't think it is. I think that you fire a bunch of shots and you see the general actually, like, he does that classic like general's last charge, right? He draws his he doesn't have a blade. He has a heartwood spear that is blackened with corruption.
yeah, it is.
So he picks up that spear and he holds it up and he charges forward, and like you see bullets actually like dinging off his armor and his like faceplate, and he just charges into the rookies, and his horse like stomps at people and he freaking spears you into the ground, and like you see, you know, holes open up in him as people are shooting him and everything, and you know, he'll die. He's like, yeah, I'm taking it with me.
Nice. So I think Voyas runs up on top of the siege of the steam wagon that is now stopped to get to the same height as the general, and because he's on horse, you know. So now we're like at the same height, and as the spear comes down, it locks with the guard of the Kingfisher blade, like locks in, and he says, Zayanova told me about how you traded your souls for how your spears turned black when you traded your souls, and he hacks the spear head off.
Oh, so good. Awesome. Yeah. And I think there's probably like a moment where like the mission is done and then you realize that the enemy army is like, well, we've lost your command. We're going to retreat, but we're going to maul you all.
Yeah.
And I'm just for cinematic purposes, as you folks escape on these steam engines, there's some cool, like, you see like a unit charging in, but they get obliterated by a rock falling from the heavens. You folks about to get obliterated by a rock, but it gets bisected by a Zora flaming blade. And
Nice.
I think that's the end of it. You squeak 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 back to the castle gates, and it's that's that. All right, so let's make the last roll of the game.
All right.
I'm not ready.
The last roll of the game is called it's called the last wave. So this is it. A broken themselves assaults the wall, and the keep must hold. This is the last wave of this campaign, and it's resolved with a single fortune roll. And let us see how the Legion weathers it. So we're going to assemble a dice pool based on some questions that we ask. Are we ready?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
1, always start with 1 die for making it to the final wave. Good job,
Did it.
everybody. You made it to the final wave. 2, take plus 1d if your chosen is still alive and with the Legion.
Yes.
All right. Next, take plus 1d for each siege weapon the quartermaster has. So quartermaster, how many siege weapons you got?
3.
All right, 1, 2, 3. So that's 5.
Yep.
Then the resourceful, take plus 1d if the Legion has both a mercy and an alchemist. Do you?
We do.
Right. Next, the brave, take plus 1d if you lit the fires of Kavala. Did that happen?
Sure did.
Sure did. Okay, take plus 1d if someone from the Legion can weave moonlight. don't
Yes,
think you have
I
that.
can.
Wait, when did you get?
Oh, is it
moonlight?
moonlight specifically?
Yes.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Well, I have a question. Did that black gem that we got that allows you to weave moonlight? Count?
It allows you to weave shadow.
Got it.
But let me take a look here. So let's have a talk here. So in general, what this is have you done special missions that give
Sure.
you an edge in a way that you couldn't otherwise be handling problems, right? Uh-oh, I accidentally clicked InDesign. My bad. No, please close.
Stop InDesign. Stop.
So I think maybe we say like, wait, but if you can weave fire and hold shadow, does that count? And let's talk about it. Is that worth 1 die? Do you folks think that can be applied against the broken assault? I feel like it can.
I feel like there's a moment where you have like one use of weave, right? Like it's a special
Correct.
set, right? I feel like there's a moment where if they're all coming, if Jen's totally up to you, if Flavia wanted to, she could erect those same wards that protected Kamala, just like a one-time thing of this wall of flame that would be terrible for them to go through. Josh, I don't know if that you said
No, because like the fires at Kavala are actually built into the place. It's not.
Okay.
It's not. She can weave fire, but she cannot weave that level of fire.
Hold the flaming meteors a bit. Maybe she could.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that sounds good. Yeah, let's do
I
that.
dig that. I'm into
I
that.
did that too. So let's give you another die. So that's 8 dice so far. That sounds great, right?
Nice.
It's less great than it sounds. All right.
know.
So
I
plus
did the
1
math.
Legion has fire oil, which unfortunately you don't.
Nope.
The God Slayers plus 1d if you can ring a bell to end broken power, which you don't have that thing.
Nope.
The Grave Robbers plus 1d if you have the head or chain of a past chosen.
We do.
Or
We have
Singra.
We have Osingra. We took our
Holy
head.
shit! Okay, that's not what this meant, but I love it, and I'm gonna give you the die for it.
We were a big deal at taking Osingra's head.
All right, so then plus 1d if the Legion is carrying an Old Empire Warning Stone, which you're not.
No.
And the Weary. Take minus 1d if the Legion is at morale 3 or less. That is not true.
Pretty.
Take minus 1d if you have 3 or fewer time remaining. That is true.
Definitely. They have
And
to.
then take minus 1d for each lieutenant or infamous left, or I'm sorry, it's only lieutenants, for each lieutenant left alive. And
Yeah.
I believe you have downed 2, which means that there are 4 remaining. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's a 4 die roll. And then minus 1d for every incomplete or failed Skydagger mission, but you did all of them, so you're good.
Yeah. Nice.
4 die roll.
All right.
I believe this is the
Is this a commander or a
no,
marshal?
actually this is this is a fortune roll, so anyone can roll it. Jay, just because it's classic. Do you want to give us the last roll of the game, Commander? See how the Legion weathers this. This feels like a Commander
Yeah.
thing.
You told us every time, just do it. So I think the quartermaster's looking at you like, all right, just do it, Commander.
Just do it. Roll 46.
46.
Fortune roll.
Oh
There's
wow. My heart skipped a beat. So here's the thing. If you roll anything less than a 6, it's not good, but that's okay. So on a 1 to 3, it's poor. No, you're fine. On 4 to 5, it's bitter. On a 6, victors. The Legion is well prepared to hold the keep. and you'll have a strong footing when it's time to do so. So you're going to win, and there is going to be, unfortunately, no modifiers to the final score. Usually just lose points at the final score.
Yeah.
Let's do our final scoring real quick. I think there's probably an epic battle. I think that it goes pretty much exactly as we discussed. I think Zorik clashes with Render, and Render is like, I have the power of the Cinder King at my beck and call, and Zora's like, yes, but I have flaming meteors, and that's when Flavia does like the thump, and I think when all is said and done, Render's body is broken on the battlefield. And amidst all the dead and the craters and the fires and so on and so forth, and the wounded weeping, a small figure in robes approaches him and pats his hair familiarly. And I don't know. Are you folks going to fight for his body, or are you just gonna let him die?
Oh man, I wonder.
I have a cool little narrative beat if you care. If you don't, that's fine.
Yeah, no, do it. Yeah, if you got something cool.
Yeah, I think there's just like a moment where like his single undamaged eye opens and glares at him and goes, "You," and that's when Blighter says, "Yes, me," and she drags him off the battlefield by his hair. So for those of you that don't know, she has experiments because she believes that Render carries in his bloodstream the same substance that Cinder King has, and she has secret plans on how to figure out to make a substance that might kill the Cinder King. But this means that you folks are besieged by Blighter during the winter. And we don't have to worry about that right now because that's in the future. All right. So if you've reached Skydagger Keep before winter, gain 20 points.
Woohoo!
Who wants to keep score? Sean, can you keep score for us real quick since you're the quartermaster and this is kind of...
Keep score, yes.
Thank you. Next, we're going to do soldiers and troops. So these are Marshall questions. Marshall, your job is to condense the troops into complete squads and then calculate the following. Let me know if you have all your troops maximized into units. So like essentially take any squads that aren't full and just like shove units into them until you have a maximum number of complete squads. All right. So soldiers remembered: for each squad annihilated, 0 survivors, subtract 10 points.
All right, that's 1.
So minus 10 points. You're at 10. Formation: for each wounded squad, so that's a squad with fewer than 5 survivors, subtract 5 points. Are you good? Is it 5 full squads? Awesome.
5 full squads.
Awesome. Specialists: for each surviving specialist, gain 5 points.
8. So 40.
So 40.
Cool. We're up to 50.
Then for each chosen advanced, gain 10 points. Now you have to understand this. I have played 6 full campaigns of this, and I have never gotten more than 20 points here. You folks are holding 30, and you might go to 40. Let me double check. I'm pretty sure you have 30.
I know we have 3.
Yeah.
I never recalled how close we were to. Because the last mission we did before this was a glory.
That is true. If you had given her the hammer, you would have had 4, but that's okay. You'll get points for the hammer in a different place.
Yeah. All right. So we have 30.
Yep.
All right. 80.
Which is amazing. Next up is morale. If the morale is between 4 to 7, gain 5 points. If it's 8+, gain 10 points.
You got 8.
You got 8. Yep.
All right. Next up, it's the quartermaster questions.
Cool.
Quartermaster, let me ask you some questions. How many supply do you have remaining?
None.
Okay. Each supply is worth 5 points, but that's okay. Siege weapons. You need these to hold the keep. For each one, gain 5 points.
Cool. That's 15. So we're at 105.
Laborers. You need these to fortify the keep. For each laborer, gain 5 points.
Cool. That's another 15. So we're at 120.
And next, it's over to the lore keeper and the commander. So I think I have the count right, but we'll have this question. For each special mission completed, gain 5 points. Do you folks happen to have the accurate count of special missions by any chance?
I don't. I didn't know I was supposed to keep
It's okay.
track of them.
It's okay.
I
Are these special as opposed to just regular missions?
Yes.
Yeah.
I believe
So
you've
there
done
was
four.
Oceaniara, there was Flames of Kabbalah, there was one in the forest, there was one in the maw,
And there's one at Fort Callisto. It's 5, actually.
one at Fort Flisco. Yeah. So I think we're at 5 special missions.
I believe so. All right, cool.
5
So
each?
that's for each one you gain 5 points. So that's 25 points right there. Now, relics. Are you bearing any relics that you found on special missions? I'm going
We
to say
sure are.
just count the relics that you got on missions, right? So if you're bearing any relics for each one, gain 10 points.
That's 30 as far as
I believe so.
Yeah.
And finally, if you slew a broken, gain 30 points.
What about
Technically-
lieutenants?
Brat lieutenants.
Wait, did I miss lieutenants?
Yep.
Oh, lieutenants, yes. For each enemy lieutenant slain, gain 10 points. Slain
There-
or defeated is fine. So I feel
There-
like that's 20.
is Victoria a lieutenant or a
Victoria Carhowell is a lieutenant.
and I think we got 3 because there's
Oh, and you took out Irog. Yes, that's
Iraq, American, and yeah. So that's
30.
uh,
My bad.
yeah.
Technically, you should have had +1D on the other roll, but that's okay. And finally, last but not least, if you slew a broken, gain 30 points. Technically, you did not slay a broken. Is that
I mean, that's like yeah, that it was all narrated. I don't think any of us were running out there to kill it. I don't know if
Yeah,
anyone
no. Flavia thought about it,
wanted-
but didn't do it.
probably smart? All right, cool. So we're good. There are a couple of missions that will knock a broken out. Archangel Bridge in the High Road is a special mission that will do it, and there is a special mission in the Maw that it's basically like the Mines of Moria kind of stuff. There's like a thing called the Hall of Kings, where you leave a squad that is willing to die, and they basically mine the pillars and they drop the ceiling on a broken. They may not die, they might get away, but like they have to be willing and volunteer before they're sent on the mission. But it's a cool mission.
Yes.
But yeah, that's how you usually snag a broken. It's very unusual to actually count a broken, so that's fine. Finally, values. If your game has a lore keeper, add the following: annals. If you've kept the annals faithfully through the end of the campaign and they've reached Skydagger Keep safely, gain 10 points.
Sure have.
Nice.
P.S. As game designers, we would love to read them. Please email us all of your annals. We love them. They're our favorite.
Oh, I won't email it to you. I will mail it to you, or
Oh my
like
gosh.
hand it to you, or
That's it.
something. Yeah.
Well, we will see each other at BBC. So
It's true.
that's the thing. All right, and I think that's it. So Sean, what's our final score here?
Our final score is 215 points.
All right, so
Yeah.
that's pretty
Good
rad.
stuff.
If you're below 100 points, that's super bad. The league is probably not going to make it. But over 200 is strong. It means that we're going to start at a good position for the next campaign.
Yeah. You hear that all?
So January.
We've got through the Voyage to work on, but it's possible. We'll talk
You're
about
gonna
it.
have to play. You're gonna have to play test it sometime, Josh.
It's true. It's true, and I don't mind. So yeah, I think that's where we're at. So that's the game.
So cool.
Awesome.
Damn,
cool.
friends.
That was it. We made it.
We got there was a marriage.
I'm very happy about that.
Very cool.
I heart this game so much. We should do that thing where we're talking about our stuff. I'm gonna go first because I'm the first person on the order, and say, "Hey all, Big Bad Con is coming up in October, and if you want to run an event at it, you have 1 hour and 37 minutes to your event." It's probably not true. I probably will not close it till tomorrow morning, early ass in the morning when I wake up. But yes, if folks want to run games with Big Bad and you have not already, John LL, I'm looking at you.
Oh no, he might be asleep. Let me message him.
He might be asleep. You can go to this site that I'm about to link, and submit a game there. Also, as everyone knows, you can get this game. It's now available. We did not switch over to the new Roll20 sheets, but they are out now, and we're going to make a whole compendium where you get the Roll20 sheet for free, but you can get but for a few bucks, you'll be able to get the whole setup with the maps, and the token and all 30
All the
rookie,
clocks.
all yes, all the clocks, yes, absolutely, and all 6 squads full with rookies, all the specialists, all the chosen, all the broken, all the commanders, all that stuff. So you don't have to make all of them and spend hours setting it all up. So that is super cool. And Fiasco is kickstarted right now. But I'll let Jen talk more about that. So yeah, I have so many things I'm excited about, but those are 3. How about you, Jay?
I'm Jay. You can find me on MattJ0 on Twitter. I'm the host of the Diceology podcast, so come give us a listen. This was awesome. This was fantastic. So I enjoyed playing. Thanks for inviting me to do this.
Yeah, thanks for being here. It was great.
Jen.
Hi, I'm Jen Martin. I use she, her pronouns. I'm on Twitter at JenMartin80, Jen with 2 N's. Yeah, I am project managing the Fiasco Kickstarter, which is ongoing right now until September 4th. It's doing really great. We just played on this Twitch channel 2 nights ago, and it was amazing. And we had Mall Santa, but also Mall Satan. It was super cool. And yeah, I'm very sad for this game to be done, but it came to such an incredibly satisfying conclusion. It's hard to be sad about it. But yeah, I had such a blast, and I'm so pleased with how everything turned out. And it is a really fucking amazing game. So thank you to Strash and John LL for making it. Misha, what about you?
Hi, I'm Misha B. She, her pronouns. You can find me on Twitter at BGGameworks and at BlackGirlGameworks.com. I am looking forward to having a chill Big Bad Con, maybe. We'll see. I didn't submit any games, and I feel a little guilty about that, but I'm not sure how guilty I feel. Not really that guilty at all. Yeah, so yeah, it'll be fun. And yeah, this was fun. This was the best, 13 weeks we could have spent.
Right?
I think this was episode 14. Yeah.
Yep. So 14 weeks of excitement and adventure and slogging through the romances. How about you, Strash?
Hey, I'm Strash, he, him. You can find me on Twitter at StrashA. I wrote this game, which keeps kind of being a shock, but I'm glad it's a real thing. And if you think this is fun, you should totally go and grab a copy. You can find it on Evil Hat site. The book is amazing. Yeah, I would say, depending on how it goes, we'll consider doing future campaigns, but who are we kidding? That's totally happening. It's happening soon. So me and John LL, we write a lot of games. And so I guess I'm going to pitch the next one, which is for Big Bad Con, we are designing a game. And what I've actually found out literally one night ago when we were playtesting it, is that apparently we're also going to be making the little ash can that we're going to bring to Big Bad Con. So if you go to Big Bad Con, the only way to get a copy of this game called Project Perseus for now is going to be to track down one of us, or to send a friend to track down one of us, or to get a Baba Yaga's box because they'll be included. So yeah, it's going to be a cool new game. It's got asymmetric rules, and when I say that, what I mean is it's a game about super spies, where one person plays the handler, who's in the earbud, the guy in the chair, right, and the other person plays an agent. And what you're fighting is worldwide conspiracies of supernatural creatures, and you're trying to keep them in check so they don't destroy humanity or whatever. So yeah, that's the game. It's going to be called Project Perseus. It should be really fun, and we'll actually be playing it on this channel. So if you want to see what that looks like, it is going to probably, I let my group decide, so I'm not swearing myself to this, but it's probably going to be the game that I'm going to run for my Big Bad Con online play group. That's something that I should totally set dates with, so Sean doesn't look at me horrifying me into Sharsha.
Yes.
All right. I think that's it for me. I'm gonna go and put my Big Bad games in, and that's gonna be it. So
awesome. Well, thank you all for being here. This has been so good. Game is phenomenal, and I'm so glad we finished it and we kicked ass. Oh my god, tonight was full of crits. It was great.
I did not see that many sixes in a game ever. But
Even-
hey, we'll take
I don't think we had that many sixes the entire rest of the
The
campaign.
last 13 episodes haven't had that many sixes.
Nope.
so-
Also, Sean, you'll be happy to know John and Al apparently did not go to bed. He just messaged me, so we'll make sure that he puts. the things in.
Nice.
We love Big Bad Con. We want to do the games for Big Bad Con, but sometimes apparently we put out a book and then decide that we're going to make 2 games before Big Bad Con. I don't know why I do this to myself, but that's a thing. So yeah.
And it's all good. All right. Good night, everybody. Thank you for being with us. We'll be back sometime soon. Take care.
Smooth outro.